Tonight, from McKechnie Field in Bradenton, Florida, the Pittsburgh Pirates host the Detroit Tigers in Grapefruit League action. The only night game on the spring training schedule. Here at McKechnie Field, as the Pirates take on the Detroit Tigers, you see a beautiful night for baseball. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass. We were here yesterday for St. Paddy's Day, and tonight, again, our first and only night game on the Grapefruit League schedule. And Steve, been kind of a quiet camp, 3 weeks into it, but one guy that remains kind of a centerpiece of any storyline is one of the new guys, and that's Jung Ho Gung.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, it's interesting. The Jung Ho Gung story, the headline is becoming less and less as we go along each day. And I say that in a very positive way. He's established himself as a good teammate. He's gone about his work. He probably isn't hitting what he wants to hit right now, but he has proven that he can hit. And I think he understands exactly what his role is, how he's coming into this camp. That he's not going to be a starter coming out, but who knows how the season will unfold. So far, so good.
Pirates signed him to a 4-year contract from the Korean Baseball Organization, and he will be on the club, just a matter of how much time he gets once the season starts. Look at the gaudy numbers for the Nexen Heroes last year. This guy's a perennial all-star, 40 homers, drove in 117 runs. So the Pirates spent some money on him, and they expect again for him to play. And I guess his bat will determine how much he plays.
Yeah, and you know, we look at the 40 home runs. That's very, very gaudy. But I like the 356 batting average because it doesn't matter how far the fences are when you're hitting at that kind of a clip. So we know he can hit. Just going to be interesting to see how he reacts and relates and learns how to adapt with these major league pitchers. That's going to be an ongoing story.
Really, again, he will be on the club, and in terms of competition in camp, well, you kind of take a look at guys that are battling for maybe one and perhaps two positions available. A lot depends on injury, but Tony Sanchez has made a name for himself again this camp. Andrew Lambeau was kind of the leader in the clubhouse when this camp opened up, but Jeff Decker and some others have made names for themselves.
Yeah, not too many spots, not too many stories about possible spots, but it's good to see Jeff Decker. We got him from San Diego a couple of years ago, and he came into camp. I don't think many people were talking about him, but he has been very good. Tony Sanchez is hitting over 500, so yeah, some good candidates that are vying for those positions, one or two of them.
On the mound tonight, of course, he'll be part of the Pirates rotation. He's back. A.J. Burnett will get another spring start as the Pirates host the Detroit Tigers. From McKechnie Field in Bradenton, we'll have it for you coming up in just a moment.
Pirates Spring Training Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Caring people, caring for you. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Back here, and a big crowd expected, a sellout crowd expected for the first and only night game on the schedule. While the Pirates are down here in March. And as we said, a beautiful night for baseball. Light breeze blowing to right field. Look at the very popular boardwalk put in place before last year's Grapefruit League schedule. And that really is a popular destination. We'll check out the lineup for the Detroit Tigers facing A.J. Burnett. Burnett making his third start of the spring. And Brad Ausmus, second-year manager of the Tigers, has this lineup. Xavier Avery will lead things off, and it's Jose Iglesias and Ian Kinsler with Tyler Collins hitting cleanup. Nick Castellanos is the third baseman. Alex Avila behind the plate. Daniel Fields, Brian Holliday, and Jordan Leonardson.
And a basic day of exercise for A.J. Burnett. He's been through this a lot of times. There's still 2.5 weeks to go. He's going to be getting out there again. So 4 innings, 75 pitches, perhaps, for the 38-year-old right-hander who is 8-18 with the Phillies. I thought he did a pretty good job for the Phillies. They were a miserable ball club. 34 starts. He was pitching through a hernia situation, but 213 innings for this then 37-year-old right-hander. Still 190 strikeouts. He can still get it done.
And a strike is called. Xavier Avery, left-handed hitter, batting .333 this spring. Last season, much of the year in the minor leagues, hoping to win a job as an extra outfielder. And a couple of strikes. So 38-year-old A.J. Burnett signed the 1-year, $8.5 million contract. Much less than he could have gotten had he exercised the player option with the Phillies. And he strikes out Avery on 3 pitches.
What a start for this gorgeous night. What a setting, Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, this is spectacular. You got a full house as you watch A.J. get in and pick up that inside corner. So it's A.J. being A.J., just hitting the inside corner of a good fastball. Oh, this is spectacular. I've never seen this ballpark so pretty. It's kind of a new setting at 6 o'clock. Pristine, filled grandstands, beautiful green grass, white lines.
I hope this is whetting your appetite a little bit.
It is
for
spectacular.
PNC Park, as we're getting ready to talk a lot about the opportunity for you to call the Pirates right now at 1-800-BUY-BUCKS and find out about all the ticket packages available for you. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Folks standing by. Off of Burnett, roller. And Walker routinely throws out Jose Iglesias. Keep that number up there for you. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS as we take a look at the Pirates defensively. Starling Marte in center field. Andrew McCutchen just being very, very cautious. Jose Tabata gets the start in left. Andrew Lambeau in right. Harrison, Gung, Walker, and Alvarez around the infield. Tony Sanchez was the catching for A.J. Burnett. And he, as we said at the top of our telecast, is once again raising some eyebrows. Not because of his bat. I mean, they feel like he could hit anyway in the big leagues. But defensively, he's looking strong. Those throws have been very accurate. Jung Ho Kang getting the start over at shortstop. He's also been featured at third base on occasion. 1 ball, 1 strike on the veteran Ian Kinsler.
It's kind of our idea that he can play anywhere around the infield, but most of the time short, third. We've not seen him at second base.
Not yet.
Not yet. You will.
Kinsler with a fly ball to center field, sending Marte back, approaching the wall, and he's there to make the catch. A strikeout, a bouncer, and a fly ball to deep center. Underway at McKechnie Field. The friendly city of Bradenton, Florida. And the Pirates will be coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. This is the Pirates' 15th game of the spring. Josh Harrison will be leading things off for the Bucks. He'll be followed by Jose Tabata in left. Jung Ho Gong will be at the shortstop. Then it's Neil Walker hitting cleanup with Starling Marte to follow. Pedro Alvarez at first. Tony Sanchez this spring, a couple of doubles, a homer, 5 RBIs. Andrew Lambeau and A.J. Burnett.
They were saying that Tony did not raise any eyebrows with his hitting, but he certainly has gotten everybody's appreciation. He's got maybe the hottest bat of the Pirates here in spring training so far.
Here's Shane Green. 6'4", 210 pounds, figures to be one of the 5 starters this year. From Claremont, Florida, just outside of Orlando. So he's in familiar territory. And a strike on Harrison, who has 6 hits in 14 at-bats. Turned an ankle early in spring, so he was kept out of some ball games. That's why he has only 14 at-bats. And Andrew McCutchen feels like it won't be any trouble getting enough ABs for him. There's still plenty of time to do that. As we said, he's resting that what we understand to be a little tender knee. Fouled off. Asked third base coach Rick Sofield. 1-2 on Harrison. Big year for Jay Hay last year. .315 batting average with 13 homers. Drove in 52.
Whole different feel of spring training for Josh Harrison. Trying to make the club last year, on the club this year. On the club and then some.
Finished second in the batting race to Justin Morneau. Not out of play. And another rundown yesterday, Steve, and they threw the ball away. Couldn't tag him out.
Well, you know, you get that reputation.
Yep.
You create mistakes. What a dazzling show he put on last year in the rundowns.
Checks and takes in the dirt. Appeal and no, says the first base umpire. Tom Hallion, Paul Emmel, John Tumpain around the bases with Bill Welke behind the plate. 2-2 on Harrison. Now on strikes goes Harrison. There's a Jose Tabata. 1 up and 1 down for Shane Green. Who's that running? Is that Charlie Morton running camera? Not if it is. Is that you, Charlie?
Yeah, that's him. And we're going to put him live on the air right now, Charlie.
Do we have a? Do we have the angle? This is what he's. That's what he's shooting. Brendan Hutman. And Todd Tomczyk.
Yep. Charlie, are you in focus?
Thank you, appreciate it. How's that? All right, there you go.
A strike on Tabata. So that's what Charlie is shooting on the left. Stationed on Brendan Hutman, and that's Charlie on your right. Robbie Smokowski with the microphone. There's a ground ball to the left side of the infield, and the play made by Iglesias.
And a clean play it was. Made it look easy.
Charlie Morton, by the way, pitched yesterday in a B game over at Pirate City. Pitched very well. Great to have Charlie Morton healthy, way ahead of schedule. Robbie, you have anything for us down there? Is he concentrating too much on running camera down there?
You know, he's been asking questions for the first half inning of this ballgame. So I said, Charlie, put the headset on and we'll put you to work.
Asking questions about how to run camera? Oh, look at this shot. Jeez, Charlie. Ho, ho, ho.
How's it going for you so far, Charlie?
Hold on. We're good.
Yeah, he's trying to concentrate here.
We got this.
That was Charlie Morton's shot. We'll get it down there on occasion when he gets that camera into focus. Jung Ho Gong takes a pitch in the dirt. Gong with 3 hits and 17 at bats. Homered early in camp and doubled.
Wow. This lens is incredible.
Charlie Morton says, wow, this lens is
you,
incredible.
Yeah, what do you feel about that lens, Charlie?
How do you feel about that lens?
This is incredible.
The lens is incredible. Where do you get to work the rest of that camera?
Taken down 2-1. Hey, he's got it down. Didn't take Charlie long.
Lock it in right there, Charlie.
How's my posture?
Posture's excellent.
His posture.
I think what you got to remember is you have to do everything exactly the way the people in the truck tell you to, Charlie. That's the key to running the camera.
This is Charlie Morton's first replay ever in the big leagues as a cameraman. And really pretty perfect.
We just showed you in slow-mo what you just shot, Charlie.
He's listening to the director, Pete Toma, bounce weakly to short. And on to first. 6-3 on the putout. 1-2-3. Greg Brown, Steve Blass with you, and Charlie Morton running the camera down there.
The ain't no stopping us now sign has lived through the years and through the weather and through the states down here in Florida. I'm Robbie Mikowski in a scoreless game in the second inning. After the game yesterday, Pirates manager Clint Hurdle named Francisco Liriano the starter for opening day, April 6th at Cincinnati. And earlier we asked him his reaction when he found out the news.
I was kind of surprised, because we got so many good guys here. So whoever's going to take the ball, I think no matter whoever's giving the ball, I think he's going to make a good decision. So it was kind of surprising for me and exciting, and really happy for the opportunity, and just looking forward to opening day.
And Liriano will start opening day for the Pirates for the second consecutive year, Greg, and that stops a string of nine straight seasons with a different opening day starter. The last guy to do was Alvaro Perez in 05 and 06, and here we are with Liriano in 14 and 15.
Robbie, Clint Hurdle was kidding that that's the reason why he chose Liriano to break that streak and have one starter go back-to-back years. But in all seriousness, it makes a lot of sense. And it means, therefore, that Garrett Cole would start the second game of the regular season, which is Wednesday, April the 8th in Cincinnati. And therefore, Cole would line up to start the home opener at PNC Park against these very Detroit Tigers. We'll talk to Ray Serage, by the way, in the bottom of the second inning.
Well, certainly makes sense to set it up the way you want to set it up. You've got all of the month of March, injuries notwithstanding, to stack up the starters the way you want to.
In a way, if you don't have your tickets for opening day, a way to get them, and maybe the only way, is to call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, a 20-game package available to you, designed around the very best games of the season, including the chance to purchase opening day tickets against the Tigers on Monday, April the 13th at 1:35. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Membership experts are standing by right now, and they'll be there all game long. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. A bunch of packages available for you. There's a chopper on the right side. So far, so good for A.J. Burnett. Tyler Collins goes down. 4-3 on the putout. A bunch of season ticket memberships available. And you can choose from some amazing experiences when you lock in your tickets. You get the chance to choose one of these great experiences when you lock in your full season, your half season, and 20 game plans full season membership plans starting as low as $599. There are 41 game plans available, featuring every weekend game. That includes opening day in that package, and the 20 game package we talked about. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. We'll be talking a lot about these ticket packages and what should be a really neat, fun, exciting Pirate season 2015. Steve, all the many fans who come down, Pirate fans from up north, who've been here parts or all of these spring training ball games, just about everybody you run into said, can't wait for this season to start. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, well, this Pirate organization, these teams will last actually two and a half years of this really good baseball. It gets everybody revved up. You're starting to get the information from spring training. You know it's not far away when you start hearing these games, so they're ready.
A base hit to left for Nick Castellanos, the third baseman, first base runner. And the Pirates will be playing the Detroit Tigers on opening day, April the 13th. First time ever they've opened up against an American League club. The Tigers are in for 3 games, then the Brewers and Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, and if you're not ready after the winter we've had, and yesterday over 60 degrees, I mean, that should kick everything in. Just get on board, get your tickets, because it's not too far away. You got a little taste of spring yesterday, real good taste when it's 63 degrees in Pittsburgh. So get on board the Pirate ship.
Yeah, you really want to be on board this year. See exciting Pirates baseball. Chopper right side, Walker to Gung for 1 and a first, and that's a nice turn. Jung-Ho Gung on the throw from Walker, as they're starting to learn
that was smooth.
How it works. We'll head to the bottom of the second and talk to Ray Serage. It's a beautiful night here in Bradenton, Florida. Pirates Tigers going to the bottom of the second as promised. Pirates pitching coach Ray Serage joins us. And Ray, how about AJ? Well, what's it like for you to have AJ Burnett back?
I enjoy it tremendously. He's a great human being and a true professional, and just having him back in the fold is pretty exciting.
Kind of a night of exercise for AJ. He's been through this a lot of different years.
I know. It's if you just think about his career and stuff and all the stuff that he has gone through with different teams, it's just really amazing that this guy is still out here and he still has the good stuff and he still has that competitive edge.
Does he look for anything new at this point, or is this just refining the stuff that has got him this far?
Basically what... Yeah, he's going to refine stuff. He's always had a good changeup, but he's kind of stubborn on using it, and we talked about it. And I'm not telling him overuse it. It's just that it's a good pitch to offset his fastball, and something new to a lot of hitters. And I remember last year he threw like 16 changeups against the Cardinals and went 9 innings. And I think, don't you think that's proof?
There you go. There you go. His health, he's feeling good. He's not a kid anymore, but do you kind of monitor how the body works at that age on one of your pitchers?
Oh, most definitely. Brendan Huntman does a great job in keeping the pitchers in shape, and obviously we have a keener eye on AJ. Not to say that he's an old man. Good gosh, no, he's still a young man, and I'll watch his sides and his pens. I'll give him an extra day. He'll get, start a game on 6 days rest, and so this way he stays fresh and he's able to get what he wants accomplished out there.
Ray, it seems to me that it has been relatively quiet spring training. Sometimes stories jump out all over the place, but you seem to be hopping and bopping along, and that can be a very good thing, can't it?
Oh, definitely. You're talking about the pitcher staff, right? Not my foot?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was a little dig there. I don't know. I had to make sure I cleared that up.
No. You know me better than that.
No, right from day one, we try to keep the edge on everything, and I challenge these guys to make sure that you have the same excitement and energy that you did on the first day of PFP and your pens and throwing your sides that you will have in day 20, 21. And no doubt they come to the ballpark ready to work, ready to learn. They stay focused, and everything we do is with championship execution. And they have a goal in mind, and that's being the postseason to the end. And they're very focused, and they go about their business. And it's really enjoyable to see, because now I feel like I'm just hanging around. I don't. They're so focused and they're so disciplined in all their work. It's like, do you guys need me anymore?
Not too many spots available, are there, Ray?
No.
All things considered.
Yeah, we've got some good competition going on within it, and the game will take care of itself. The players know what's at stake, and we try to enforce that. Go out there and be yourself. Go out there and compete, and let the chips fall where they may, and just go have some fun and be yourself.
On the screen right now, we're seeing the 4 locks in the rotation, no pun intended. Francisco Liriano, Garrett Cole, A.J. Burnett, and Charlie Morton, and Jeff Locke and Vance Worley battling it out for that 5th spot in the rotation. And you named your opening day starter. You probably wanted to get that out of the way, didn't you?
Yeah. Clint and I talked, and so did Neil. We were in a little conference, and we wanted to get that out as soon as possible. So this way they all have an idea of where they're going to pitch, when they're going to pitch, and who they're going to be facing.
Ray, is this a typical spring training for you? You've been with the Pirates organization a long time. I think this will be 7 years as the pitching coach, but is this a typical spring, or are you noticing anything different?
No, I've noticed more depth, better arms. Neil and Clint have done a great job in giving us depth, not only in the bullpen but in the starting rotation. And when we need to give a guy a breather, or something happens within the rotation and or the pen, that we've got guys that we could pick from, whereas before our choices were limited. And they did a tremendous job in finding some of these guys, and our scouts, they did shake a lot of bushes to find some of these good arms. And now we got to tweak them a little bit, so this way they're consistent over the plate.
Ray, 2.5 weeks to go. Is that still plenty of time to determine your 5th starter, Worley, Locke?
Yeah, no doubt about it. They'll have 2 more starts, and we'll see how it pans out from there. The other night, Worley did a real good job, and Jeffrey was competing. Just he had intention and conviction with his pitches. It just was up a little bit on the execution part. So he's not far away from being real sharp, and we're looking forward to seeing those guys go out there and perform.
Ray, in terms of the bullpen, it's looking as though 1, maybe 2 spots available, and you got to be pleased with your options there too, huh?
Most definitely. We've got the 4 guys, Waddy, Melanson, Bastardo, and Yuzi so far, and the 5th starter, or the guy who doesn't make the 5th starter, will be in that pen in those 2 spots right now. The competition level, especially with Caminero, Holscomb, and Liz, and a couple other guys that are dark horses, are going out there to compete, and it's really a pleasure to watch them go out there and play.
Is Tony Watson just getting better and better every time I see him?
I know. He's developing into a premier left-handed reliever. who could have stopper qualities too. Mentally, he does. We're tightening up that slider right now, which is really good, and we've just got to get some more consistency out of it. And he's on his way to having 3 quality pitches.
And what would the purpose of that be, Ray? Why tighten up that slider? For he's so good.
Yeah, well, you know, when you want to punch somebody out with a slider on the back foot, that his slider right now, he does use it, but it's kind of a little bit loopy. Now when he's getting out in front, it's shorter and sharper because he likes to throw that fastball inside. And then if he throws that slider inside, you know, he's going to get some swing overs on that pitch, and it's there. It's another weapon for him to go to war with.
Not as much time for them to react, I would think, if it's shorter and quicker.
Yes, most definitely.
Not to stay on Tony Watson too long, but we only have a half an inning with Ray, but we were wondering this the other day on the radio side. Does there come a time where a guy, a pitcher, like in Watson's case, Ray, that you want some adversity, and he goes out there in spring training like it's midsummer? You know, at some point, I wonder, like in the back of his mind, if I were a pitcher, I'd say, you know, I'd like to kind of be bad early on.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, one of the biggest things is Tony has a reputation of being a notorious slow starter. So what I'm trying to do is get him in more A games and get him to be more mechanically sound and with the sides and the touch and feels, or let's say a reliever's side is different than a starter's side. And to try to make sure that we maintain that delivery there, because sometimes he'll drop on that backside and then sweep that leg. So what we want him to do is keep that back leg kind of firm, so this way when he does land, it's straight towards home plate. Even though he throws across his body, his direction is going towards home. And that's one of the battles we have been fighting through in the last couple of days. Well, hopefully we made some headway in his last pen. We'll see how it plays out tonight.
Because during the regular season over his, and it's still early in his major league career, he's gotten out of the gates a bit slower. So if he comes out of the gate in mid-season form, the bullpen and the Pirates are going to be all that much better in April.
No doubt about it, and that's what I'm shooting for him.
Melanson has been almost as impressive, or as impressive. Mark has come into these several games, worked an inning, and hardly breaking a sweat. He's looking good.
Oh, I know. I had to pitch him in a B game to get him an inning in there to get some work. And then after the B game, I told him, I said, okay, listen, kid, just go out there and get after it now. Every time you go out there, you get after it, because I want to see that arm strength. I want to build that arm strength up there, and I want you to go after these guys. And good gosh, man, he has already, and every time he goes out there, it's all business.
We're jumping around a lot, but Ray, I talked to you, I guess maybe a week ago, you were talking about Garrett Cole and making sure he could get his tempo and his hands right when he was working out there on a full windup. Have you made progress on that?
Yes, most definitely. He had his hands too still. Now what we did was when the leg comes up, the hands move back at the same time, so now they're married together, and now he's got a good timing key right there. So this way when he does start to go to home plate, ball glove separation happens, and he's able to get up on top and behind the ball and let that natural stuff come out.
It's just like a trigger mechanism.
Yes.
Here I go. Here we go forward.
Yeah, they all have different keys, you know, and you got to keep track of it. And, once those keys are met, and when you're watching them when they're pitching out there, then this way you could just tell them, all I have to do is walk by and say, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. You know, one thing, and then bingo, man, they do it during their warm-ups, and they're ready to go.
You talk about keys, several keys for an individual pitcher. You've got 27 left in camp. That's a bunch of keys to keep track of.
Yeah.
Is, again, 2.5 weeks enough for you to separate everything the way you want to and get to where you want to be?
Yeah, you got to do your work fast, man. You got to do homework, too, you know.
And remember names.
And remember names is right, but, you make little notes. I got a little black book, and I put my notes in there, and sometimes I have to write it twice. And this way, when I have that situation arise, boom, all I have to do is go to that page. I got it. Hey, here we go. But when you have 12, it's a lot easier. But when you're learning a lot of new guys and stuff, you want to just make sure that you're right on point, so this way you have some credibility in trying to help them.
Make sure you hide that black book in a place so you can find it, because we're going to have a busy coach's room if you don't.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, how is your foot, by the way, in all seriousness?
It's fine. It's getting better. The thing that gives me the problem is the boot. I think the thing's healed, but I got to wear it for another 10 days, so I'm really going to enjoy that.
It's a little better on your foot than on your car.
For those that don't know, a little Achilles mishap, right?
No, it was a torn calf. And
torn calf?
Yeah, I walk up the stairs.
Sounds pretty bad.
I tripped up the stairs, and I gained all. I loaded all my weight on one.
Well, we wanted
leg.
to keep that kind of secret. We didn't want to let them out.
Well,
That's a
it's
strategy
out.
thing.
Yeah, it's out now. So
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, it's good you're feeling better. And now here's Tony Sanchez at the plate. And defensively, have you liked what you've seen from Tony?
Yes.
You think a different kind of guy?
Yeah, he's got a better mindset. He's a little bit more mature. He's picking up things real quick. I think that last year really helped him out in his growth and the way he's going about business. And we have a catchers-pitchers meeting before every home game. And, I encourage these guys to be vocal in that meeting. It's not my meeting. It's our meeting. And the way things have come out of his mouth is his questions and also his answers have been outstanding, and really proud of his progress so far.
What a great story it would be for Tony Sanchez, because he has worked so hard and was off the radar a little bit, former number 1 first-round pick, and for him to bounce back and get outside shot, even making the club, this would be something, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's outstanding. Through adversity, man, the cream comes to the top, and he believes he could play here, and I believe he can too, so we'll see how it plays out.
You like your starting catcher, Cervelli?
Yes. Good gosh.
Going to be good?
Yeah, he's got more energy than Florida Power. But he's hungry. He's a sponge. He's trying to learn so much in such a short amount of time. That's why we're trying to help him every day and talk to him and, try to slow him down a little bit and what we're all about, pitching in and moving the ball around the plate.
Oh, look at this.
I know.
Right on cue. Central Cast.
You like the offense part of it too, don't you?
See?
Tony Sanchez, the home run. They're talking about the defense, but the bat seems to always have been there. But even more so this spring. He just looks like a big leaguer this spring, Ray.
Yes, he does, because he thinks he is, and that's key. When you believe and you think about it, you can achieve anything, and he's done a great job, and that just makes me really proud of him right there. That's awesome.
This is really one of the great stories of spring.
It is, yeah. This is
that we're
really
watching,
an emerging story.
Yep.
Tony Sanchez.
We knew he could hit, but I mean, he's hitting that and more, and then the rest of the whole package is coming about. So some guys get it early, some guys get it late.
Yeah, and you can take my word for it. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, what he's doing out there behind the plate for our staff, for all the pitchers in camp, because he's involved from number 1 to all the way to number 27, and it's been outstanding. And I think that's going to help in his maturity and growth even more so during the year.
Hey, Ray Serage, our guest, the Pirates pitching coach. Tonight we are encouraging fans to call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. We have folks standing by answering the phones for season tickets, and we were talking about how excited we are and fans are. How about you, Ray, as the pitching coach who's been around the big leagues a long, long time? How excited are you to get this 2015 season underway?
I'm chomping at the bit. To tell you the truth, Brownie, I'm really looking forward to all this stuff. But I also, because of my age and experience, I know that I can't speed up time, But I know that this is going to be a really good year for the Pittsburgh Pirates and the way we're going about our business. And Clint has done a great job to lay out the expectations of everyone and to be themselves and go play hard.
You talked about energy from day one coming into camp, Ray. It becomes a long camp when you go all the way to April 6th. Is this kind of a flat time now where you get after them a little bit more before things start to rev up as you get in tune?
That's a good point. Because you'll have a little bit of a lull in there, but yet, that's where you have to stay positive. I don't beat on them. I stay positive. I tell them, this is what we do. Remember our core values, and then I'll be involved in PFP and I'll be involved in the pens and I'll try to excite them a little bit and get that blood going. And so this way they stay focused, because it's real easy to get straight off course every once in a while, and then it takes you a longer time to get back on the right lane. So what I have to do is just make sure that they see me and they feed off me at certain times, and I make sure that you guys got to keep your head up and keep battling and keep going after it, and let's go. This ain't over yet. This is just the beginning.
Probably easier to do with the young guys. I know sometimes veterans, what is it, just March 15th, March 20th, and those guys, I would think that those guys have to get the kick in the backside rather than the pat on the shoulder. The older guys, the veterans. You
know what, Blazer? That is not the case with our guys. It is not. Sometimes I got to pull back the reins on Frankie and AJ. I don't want to cramp their style, but you know, we got 2 more weeks to go, you know, but with our veterans, they're good leaders, really, really good leaders, and the young kids flock to them. And when AJ was warming up today, every single pitcher was out there around the bullpen.
That is great.
And
that is great
and
stuff.
every starter is with the other starters when they throw their pens, and it's a nice camaraderie feeling that, you know, hey, everybody's got everybody's back, and we're going somewhere this year. How far we are. And when we could do it together, we could do anything.
Well, how lucky we are to have that man right there. Ray Serage, thanks so much for being with us, Ray.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
He is the best. Ray Serage. We go to the 3rd inning. Thanks to Tony Sanchez's home run. The Pirates lead 2-0. Tony Sanchez with his 2nd home run of the spring. He now has 7 RBIs. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 9 spring training games. A 2-0 Pirates lead.
Now do you know why I try to have a little conversation with Ray Serage every Sunday home game? He's a delight, isn't he?
Yeah,
he really is. He's got the information, he's got the attitude, he's got the personality. We are fortunate to have Ray Serage.
Uncle Ray there. Ball 1 on Daniel Fields, playing center field tonight. Having a good spring. Hit .224 last year in the minors, but hitting .385 this spring. AJ Burnett hoping to go 4 innings.
There's still a lot of life in that right arm. You know, you look at his resume too. We're talking about age and all those wins and losses, but how about this? Over 2,500 innings pitched. Over 2,300 strikeouts. I mean, he has been a K guy all his career.
Working with Tony Sanchez. Sanchez gets the start. 3-0 count now on Daniel Fields.
Last start, this is where AJ ran into a little bit of a problem. It could have been helped with a defensive play. But overall, this is appearance 3, as you said. Coming into this 4 1/3 innings, a couple runs, just 1 hit and a couple strikeouts.
3-2. Full count now on Daniel Fields.
Grizzled veteran.
Yeah.
Yep. AJ Burnett.
Working again with Tony Sanchez, and a line drive right to Neil Walker. And maybe Tony Sanchez, as we talk about a story emerging. Let's go downstairs to Robbie Ince-Mikowski.
Well, we got Charlie Morton here.
Oh, wow.
Running the camera, getting the shot that you're about to see in just a second. We're going to bring you Chris Stewart's Allegheny Health Network injury update tonight. Concerns the Pirates catcher, who is dealing with a right hamstring strain. It's a day-to-day issue right now. He injured it in the last ballgame that he played. Now, the situation for Stewart, is to nip this in the bud right now so you don't have to worry about something like this lingering into the season. So officially day-to-day. Don't know when he's going to play next, but they're going to handle this day-to-day, and hopefully he'll be able to return back into the lineup pretty soon. The man taking care of him is Todd Tomczyk, the head athletic trainer, who you're going to see in a second. Thanks to Charlie running this camera, and there it is right there. See me? This is Todd right here. Todd,
Well
say
done.
hello, everybody. Just give a wave right there.
Very well
Camera
done.
right there. That's the man who takes care of everybody.
Yeah,
and
Todd,
Charlie's shooting him.
He's, likes to be in the background, Todd Tomczyk.
Todd
but
does not
Charlie
enjoy
Morton
being
will
on
not allow
camera.
that to happen.
He was not the happiest guy when I told him we were going to put him on for a second.
Didn't Todd Tomczyk and his crew get an award this offseason?
Actually, as a matter of fact, it is time to give him recognition right now. The Professional Baseball Athletic Trainers Association voted the Pittsburgh Pirates as the 2014 Athletic Training Staff of the Year.
All right.
Todd, can you please turn around and take a bow? Congratulations, Todd Tomczyk, Ben Potenziano, Brendan Hutman, Jeremiah Randall, the entire athletic training staff.
Congratulations,
Todd,
guys.
congratulations from us to you and the guys.
Thanks, Robbie.
What did that honor mean to you and the staff?
It's a team organization award. Meant a lot. Thanks.
That means it was a
you go.
training staff award and
One of
also
the-
a team
one of the
organization
better
award. But
speeches.
congratulations, these guys.
Absolutely.
You know, you always hear the guys talking about what a great job that they do. You hear it sometimes, refer to it on camera, but the hours and the effort that these guys put in is really second to none. And nice to see those guys get recognized by their peers around Major League Baseball.
Morton Cam.
Yeah, Morton Cam. How's he doing so far?
A little more brightness.
Charlie,
Not bad. Yeah, how about some brightness on
Brightness,
that camera,
yeah.
Charlie?
Can you do brightness, Charlie, on this? Can you figure that out?
I don't know what that is.
No, you go up on the roof and you turn the antenna.
No, I'm good here. I'm right here.
Concentrating on the camera down the first
Bringing
base
waters to the
dugout.
camera, people.
Yeah,
Charlie,
low first.
you want a
If
water
you
for all
tell
the jobs?
Charlie that's low first.
Jordan Leonardton at the plate. Charlie.
I wonder what Todd's thinking right now. You know,
He's thinking, I do not want any attention. Very humble head athletic trainer. 2-0 on Leonardton with 2 outs, nobody on in the third. Pirates lead 2-0. And now 3-0. We've heard from Ray Searage. We're going to be joined by General Manager Neil Huntington. He'll have some answers for us in the 4th inning. And then later, Frank Coonley, Pirates team president. 3-0 count. And in their first strike last year, Burnett walked 96 batters. They'd like to cut down on that, but as Steve mentioned earlier, 213 innings, made all of his starts despite that hernia injury. And he walks Leonardton. Top of the order, Xavier Avery. Dive head first into Pirates spring training on a special Inside Pirates Baseball. Join A.J. Burnett, Josh Harrison, Chris Stewart, and many more as they are mic'd up to give you the full effect of preseason workouts. Inside Pirates Baseball, spring mic'd up. Saturday after Pirates postgame on Root Sports. It's our next and final Florida telecast here on Root Sports this Saturday. We'll have one more preseason game. That will come your way from Philadelphia. Pirates are playing a couple exhibition games against the Phillies. Friday night, April the 3rd, will be our final preseason telecast and get it underway in Cincinnati on Monday, April the 6th. 1 week later, taking on these Detroit Tigers. And remember, chance to purchase opening day tickets by picking up a 20-game ticket package. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS right now.
Nice looking curveball from AJ. Yep, your lucky number is 413. April 13th, opening day, 2015. Be there.
Folks are standing by. 0-2 count on Avery. Blocked there by Sanchez, whose defense we talked about earlier improved greatly in these spring games. His accuracy on throws to second. He's picked off a couple, thrown out a couple trying to steal. And you heard Robbie talk about Chris Stewart, the backup catcher. Nice to know that Tony Sanchez has maybe insurance. Breaking pitch is bounced on the right side. Gonna be a tough play for Walker. No chance.
You know, Greg, we're talking about the catchers. Here's a name, kind of tuck it away in your brain for the future. Elias Diaz. He is a young star coming up through the Pirate farm system. This ball chopped just high enough to get over the head of AJ. After that, not going to happen. Too much speed. They don't have those guys at the top of the lineup for nothing.
So infield hit and brings up Jose Iglesias. Yeah, Elias Diaz has been tremendous in camp, offensively and defensively. He'll start the year at AAA Indianapolis. Tony Sanchez doesn't know exactly where he'll start the season, but he is pushing to earn a spot on the opening day roster. AJ Burnett.
And you wonder sometimes about third catcher, you know, but a lot of managers like to have that third catcher. You might want a pinch run for a guy later on in the ball game.
And Sanchez has played some first base now too. Pirates have had him playing some first base in the minor league, so if they decide to go that way, could be a third catcher / first baseman, a right-handed hitter. 2-1. General managers often say they don't determine who goes north based on what they see in spring training, but that can change.
Oh yeah,
that attitude.
Absolutely. We always talk about many times the players will make the decisions, but sometimes you have players neck and neck, and decisions have to be made that aren't easy. But again, you know, it's already been a lot of games, it seems like, but there's 2.5 weeks left to go. Sometimes you see decisions made up in Philadelphia with those late exhibition games up there just before the season starts.
He goes up the ladder, and Iglesias chases. Second strikeout for Burnett. Pirates lead 2-0. Pirates lead going to the bottom half of the third inning. Big Pirate fans right there. Cal and Jake Johnson. And they will be, no doubt, at PNC Park often this year. Hope you will too. The 12-pack ticket plan available. 2 plans. The Flex plan, handpick the games you want, and the weekend plan, which includes 12 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games, along with some great giveaways. Call 1-800-5-BUCKS. Do it right now, or visit Pirates.com. And if you call now and order that 12-pack, ask how you might be able to pick up a 13th game Ticket representatives are standing by. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Here's A.J. Burnett.
It's amazing how flexible our ticket reps are. I mean, they will find something that fits what you need during the course of the summer, the home games. They'll find a way to make it work for you.
Burnett saying, what was that?
Somewhat awkward. That's called touche. You throw me those curveballs, I'll throw them to you. Somewhat embarrassing moment. I think he might have been thinking fastball.
Chopper toward third. Bare hand play made by Castellanos to retire Burnett. So out number one. A lot of great promotional dates you're going to want to check off your box throughout the season. The 31 promotional dates, one-of-a-kind T-shirt giveaways every Friday home game to the first 20,000 fans. Post-game fireworks, 8 dates throughout the year. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. It's 1-800-BUY-BUCKS as they are standing by now. First post-game fireworks, first home Saturday after the Pirates take on the Brewers. Oh, 0-1 the count. There's Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison, toe tapping bobblehead going to be given away on Saturday, May 23rd. The toe tap. You see Josh Harrison after every pitch, and here he flies out to center field. Also a neat giveaway this year, the Clint Hurdle Garden Gnome on Thursday, May the 7th. Steve's holding it up. There it is.
This is post-surgery. Yep.
That's right.
Well balanced.
New hips.
Hips are
Garden
fine.
Gnome. Clint Hurdle Garden Gnome. What do you think of that one? That's pretty cool.
I think that's wonderful. I think it's not too good. It's 10 good.
Presented by Trib Total Media. That's Thursday, May 7th, part of the promotional schedule this year.
It's pretty slick.
1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Working out your ticket package. Ticket representatives are standing by. And as Steve said, they will work with you. The full season membership plan or the 41-game plan. There's that 20-game package. And that new 12-pack just released. Taba hobble around a bit. That hurt.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on.
So some great kids items every Sunday home game. The Garrett Cole camo jersey. McCutcheon socks giveaway. Compression sleeve given away. McCutcheon compression sleeve. The Parrot Gnome. 2 fan jams this year. Concerts by OAR and Big and Rich. Part of the promotional package. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS.
Busy season.
Don't forget Sundays are Kids Days at PNC Park as well. Taba really in pain. Can't put any pressure on that right foot. Take another look here. Be coming out of this game right off the ankle.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it for Taba.
It's hard to imagine how much that hurts unless you've gone through that sometime in any level of baseball career. You smoke that ball off your ankle. There's not much protection. Especially that ankle bone just juts out. You hit that, you're in trouble. Say goodbye to Jose Taba for the evening.
It's been a tough go for Jose Taba. Now he's out of this ball game. So he's going to pinch hit Mel Rojas Jr. Taba just 3 hits and 21 spring training at bats. Hope was that he would come in and impress, and if not make the Pirates team, at least Maybe draw some interest from some other clubs.
Yeah, he's adding injury to insult.
Yeah.
Talk so often as you move along during the month of March about health, keeping your players healthy. And as the month goes on, the more concern there is, the more anxiety there is. You never want to lose them at all to injury, but especially late in the month, it becomes very hectic. Rosters.
Taba, a non-roster invite to spring training this year. Now Rojas Jr. is a Pirate prospect. This spring, he is 2 out of 14. 2-2 the count. Switch hitting outfielder. And a broken bat bouncer. Second baseman Kinsler throws out Rojas. Pirates go down in order. We'll go to the fourth. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Burnett, so far so good. 3 innings of work. Burnett has walked a man, gave up an infield single, and here is our Chick-fil-A double play of the game. That came in the second inning. A bouncer to Neil Walker onto Jung Ho Gong, and then to Pedro Alvarez. Part of A.J. Burnett's night. He has struck out 3 batters, and looking good and working again with Tony Sanchez as he makes his 3rd spring start on the Grapefruit League schedule. 38-year-old A.J. Burnett.
You know, he's got the perfect body. You know, he's never been heavy. He's got good flexibility. Thank mom and dad, AJ. You get the genetics are working for you. Just keep this career going on. By the way, that double play, really, I want to go. That was really good work by Walker to get to it, and then a strike to Gung at shortstop in the quick pivot. I mean, that was good all the way around.
I guess we really shouldn't be surprised when we see Gung make these plays. I mean, he was an all-star in the Korean baseball organization as a shortstop. Neil Walker has worked mainly with Jordy Mercer and Will much of this year. But Gung, an extra infielder. This ball lined into the left center gap. The new left fielder, Rojas, will fire toward the infield. And a nice play, but a leadoff double for Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, we saw it all unfold into the gap. You know there's going to be a try for 2 bases, and you wonder how strong the throw was going to be. It was very, very strong, just a little bit off base on the right field side of second base. Kind of neat to watch the whole thing. The beginning and the strength of that throw. Gets interesting for the runner as he sees a strong throw coming in. Now, we can get back to your subject. All we talked about with Gung was the 40 home runs, 356 batting average, 117 RBIs. Hardly anybody talked about his defense. But that's the way the game of baseball is. What are you going to talk about when you have those numbers? You're going to talk about his batting.
And most who saw him, I guess, play figured maybe not the greatest range in the world. Very strong arm.
And good footwork on that pivot.
And it's not like a rookie. Again, he is a guy who's played professional baseball a lot of years. And that's why the Pirates felt strongly like they wouldn't need to begin Gung's career in the States in the minor leagues. And he's going to be on this major league club. And up the middle, a base hit. And the score, Kinsler. Although Marte's going to give it a whirl. Guns it toward the plate. RBI single for Tyler Collins. It's 2-1.
And former Bucko Dave Clark coaching at third base for the Tigers, giving them the big windmill. Ground ball base hit. I'm going to send him. Finds the hole. Give you a shot of one of the real good guys in the game of baseball, Dave Clark. He was a blur, but he is there, and everybody knows it.
There's Clarkie, the former Pirate. Briefly managed the Astros. Nick Castellanos now. Pops this up and out of play. We saw Jim Leland before the game. He's still part of the Tigers organization as a consultant. Was watching batting practice. Gene Lamont still on this coaching staff, the former Pirates manager. Joe Torre is here.
Joe Torre, yeah. Hall of Famer Joe.
Making the rounds this spring. Castellanos singled to left in the second.
But noises about our new commissioner going to examine the Pete Rose case. Take a look at
Pete Rose going to officially ask for reinstatement, and Rob Manfred maybe considering Rose returning. Runner goes, and it's fouled off. Might get a chance to see Tony Sanchez in action. Tyler Collins took off, but fouled off by Castellanos.
They've been running all spring, the Tigers. You get the daily notes. A lot of stolen bases for Detroit.
Dave Dombrowski in the middle there, talking with Jim Leland, the baseball cap and the sunglasses on top. There's Bruce Tanner, next row up. Bruce, a Tigers scout. Dave Dombrowski, the president of the Tigers, and a club that has won 4 consecutive division titles. Could be 2. Nice play by Walker, but not able to get the ball to Gung.
Oh, the hook shot almost worked. That would have been pretty.
Wouldn't that have been something else?
Yep. You knew what he was trying to
accurate.
do. Sometimes the body just gets in the way of trying to flip it back over the top of your head to get it to the shortstop.
Good to see, too, as he rolled down over his wrist that he's fine. Could be an ugly situation. That was fun. 2 on for Alex Avila. Burnett has gotten a couple of ground balls, but Tyler Collins singled up the middle, and this time Castellanos, despite a nice stop by Walker, reaches on the infield hit.
Good looking curveball. AJ has a little wiggle room here. He's been pretty efficient. Just faced a couple over the minimum through the first 3 innings. Got help with a double play. Here's another ground ball.
Missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What I like from AJ, among other things, he put up 3 zeros, but now a run. is the curveball and then fastball inside to both right and left-hand hitters. So he's I don't know if he's working on that specifically, but it's a nice 1-2 punch, curveball, and then something tight in on the hands with some speed.
Fouled off.
Another good hook.
Still 1-2 on Avila. A.J. Burnett returns to the Pirates. Came over in a trade for the 2012 season. A couple years with the Bucks. And then signed a deal with the Phillies. Wanted to be as close to his home in Baltimore as possible. Says this is going to be his last year. Thanks to that one. Burnett struck out 209 batters for the Pirates in 2013. A career that goes back to his 1999 season with the then Florida Marlins. You see 155 career wins. He went 16-10 his first year in Pittsburgh in 2012.
Getting out in front now a little bit. Sometimes the legs will get a little bit tired. Cause you to stand up.
Ray Serage and Jim Benedict. Jim Benedict, an assistant to the general manager, works with the pitchers throughout the system.
Bill Verdon in the background.
And it stays 3-2 on Avila. Alex Avila hoping to have a healthy season. He's had some concussion issues. The Tigers did not bring 3 of their stars. 2 of them have been hurt. Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, and the new Tiger, Yenis Cespedes, did not make the trip over from Lakeland, central part of the state where they train. Dave Dombrowski said yesterday that Miguel Cabrera doing very well, and he's going to be very close, if not ready, for opening day. And he said on Victor Martinez's injury, he'd be surprised if Martinez were not ready for opening day. So that's good news for the 2 big boppers in that lineup. They traded for Cespedes over the winter and tried to get him missed in. Burnett wanted it. That loads them up. Second walk for A.J. Burnett.
And with that, you might see some activity in the Pirate bullpen as he has thrown a bunch of pitches in this inning. That close. Getting that call third strike. He's been trying to hit that inside corner, coming all the way across the strike zone to those lefties. And they'll start moving around in the pen.
Steve, I know we've talked about this so many times over the years about guys as they get ready for spring training when it comes to pitchers. A.J. Burnett's situation is so different from even a Vance Worley, who's been around the big leagues a few years, because Worley is trying to win a job as a 5th starter. But Burnett knows he's in the rotation. He knows he's not the ace this year. He was really brought in that trade as the ace. This is a different role for him this year. So what do you think he's trying to accomplish? You talked to Ray Serage about it earlier.
Well, you know, you consider the money he turned down in Philadelphia. I think he's trying to go out with a winning team.
In spring training specifically.
Just
spring get training? His work in. Is he work on anything in location?
You heard Ray say that he might want to be a little more active with his changeups, but this guy knows his body. Ray Serage will tell you that I hand him the ball. He knows his body better, his arm better than anybody, because he's been around so long. So this is exercise, and he's not trying to accomplish anything, I think, but getting his pitches in, getting his work done. The old cliche that's so tired but so true.
Line drive foul.
I mean, he's not going to change his repertoire now. He's got a good good live fastball, a good enough separation speed with that hook. He's got a good curveball. That's the foundation of what he does. The changeup.
And Ray said that he threw in that one game a couple years ago, threw some like 13, went the distance. So they really are trying to push A.J. to use that changeup a little more often.
Yeah, if you can certainly compliment that. But if he doesn't find it early in the ball game, he's got enough strength with his fastball and curveball that he just threw right there. But sometimes the thinking is, okay, yeah, I can throw that changeup, but if I get hurt with that, I'm really going to be disappointed in the course of a game. But if you find it early, then you run with it a little bit.
But Steve, the attitude right now, it is just spring training. This is meaningless what's going on here. The bases are loaded, nobody out. So the intensity, the level of intensity is way down,
minimal,
right?
Minimal, very minimal.
And so he'd like to get out of it without giving up a run, but it's no big deal.
If he gets it through to 75 pitches, the rest is details. He knows what he can do. He knows what he can't do. Every once in a while, I would think you get this long in the tooth as a real veteran. Maybe I will go to that changeup to just give me something else to show him, something else to trick him with, because I can't throw by it all the time. But it might be hard to convince this guy because he still strikes out so many people. It ain't broke with his quality of pitches.
Struck out 190 last year.
You couple you combine a lot of that stuff with the fact there's still a lot of young batters that are brought up to the big leagues that just with guile, you watch what they do, how to react, and you get them out.
Now maybe it starts getting to be a little bit fun even for a guy like A.J. Burnett. In 1 and 2, he'd love to, just for the fun of it, keep the Tigers from scoring.
Well, this is a guy who enjoys what he's doing out there, and he likes it. And he likes to throw the ball by people with a fastball, and he likes to make them look bad with a curveball. So he's got a couple of things he's got available to him right now. And there's the hook.
And you know what's neat too, Steve, is that again, we're talking a lot about Tony Sanchez because he's one of the few real stories in this quiet camp. But he's working here with Tony Sanchez, not shaking him off much. Sanchez called for the breaking ball, knew that's what Burnett wanted, throws it, and they get the strikeout. And that is going to be it as he reaches a pitch limit. They've got Charlie Leisman, a non-roster invite, loosening in the bullpen.
And how nice it is if you're going to be up to your pitch count to strike out the last 2 batters you face.
There, A.J. Burnett again talking with Tony Sanchez.
And you never know, too, when a guy like A.J. Burnett, who's taken a couple guys under his wing and under his shoulder, would say, all right, I got a young catcher here. I can really do something with that. That's maturity. That's a guy that's been around. Maybe I can extend myself to somebody else outside myself.
68 pitches for A.J. Burnett. Nice ovation from the sellout crowd. Little wave. And Charlie Leisman coming on. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning, and Charlie Leisman signed a minor league free agent contract with the Pirates. A couple of cups of coffee with the White Sox last couple of years. Cincinnati native.
We can certainly do something to clean up A.J. Burnett's line. These 3 runners on. That'd be a good thing.
Third outing in the spring for Leisman. A couple of scoreless innings as he faces Daniel Fields. We'll be talking to Neil Huntington in the bottom of the 4th inning. A.J. Burnett back in the dugout. Really nice ovation for him. And a wave of the glove as you saw walking off. 2-0.
Speaking of an ovation, the Pirates are wondering if they're going to set an all-time attendance record tonight. Last year, 8,186.
They increased the capacity here last year with that boardwalk and those seats in left field. So, they're setting all kinds of records last March, this March. This might be an all-timer today. And a 4-pitch walk for Charlie Leisman to Jordan Leonardson. Forces in the tying run.
And you were bringing up the subject, does A.J. Burnett care about what the final line looks like? You know, you have a sense of pride, but it's no big deal. He got his work in. He did well. He threw the ball well. I give him very good marks for what he did tonight.
3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, couple of ground singles, couple of walks, and 5 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett. And he got Avery looking to start the game. And Avery reached on an infield hit last inning.
There it is.
Ground ball to second. And that'll do it. Leisman, a walk and a ground down. We'll talk to the Pirates general manager when we come back. Neil Huntington. We're back. 2-2 ball game at McKechnie Field. First and only night game on the Grapefruit League schedule here at McKechnie. And check out our Barrel Automotive League leader stat. Jung Ho Gong, leader in a lot of categories in the KBO, the Korean baseball organization, last season. 739 slugging, 40 homers, 117 RBIs, on base of 459. And one of the reasons why Neil Huntington signed him, Jung Ho Gong. Neil, thanks for being with us.
Oh, glad to be here. And how do you top a beautiful night like this in Bradenton and a great baseball game?
What a setting.
Now, Jung Ho Gong leads off. What have you seen of him in his first spring training here in the States?
He's done nothing but reaffirm our scouts and our video reviews of him. He's come in with a smile. He's come in with passion for the game. He's come in with passion to fit on this club. He's bounced from short to third. He's worked out at second base. He's tried to be a good teammate, and we've loved what we've seen from him offensively. There's thump to the bat, and defensively he's bounced around and done anything we've asked of him. You saw him turn an athletic double play tonight. He's got good feet, he's got good hands, the arm plays. He's been what we hoped he would be, both on and off the field.
It's funny, Neil, Steve and I were just talking that he made that fine play, turning that double play, and we're almost surprised by it, but we shouldn't be. He's not a rookie.
No, I mean, this is one of the best players in the Korean baseball organization, and you know, it would be like, maybe not to the extent of Andrew McCutchen, but he is one of their best players, and he's played at a high level internationally. He is an advanced player and tough at bat right there, but we've really liked what we've seen so far.
Neil Walker to the plate. And what did you think of AJ tonight?
You know, another great warm-up outing for him. First hitter of the game, sinker away, curveball, sinker in, that it backed up on him and froze the hitter. Showed some really quality pitches tonight. Had one changeup that was for a ball that had great depth to it. Good signs. Again, very good signs. Fatigue late.
The hit for Neil Walker.
It's just kind of exercise, isn't it, for a guy that knows himself as well as your whole staff of coaches and trainers. This guy knows his body and knows his game.
Absolutely, Steve. I mean, you've been there, and this is a guy that we're doing everything in our power to help get ready. He knows what he needs to do. The velocity tonight was 90 to 92 until the fourth inning. The sink was strong and sharp, and he's healthy. He's got his legs under. He's getting his legs underneath him, and it's going to be fun to see AJ go through this year.
More sink, perhaps reducing the number of strikeouts. Is that just a natural progression for a guy that is veteran status like he is?
You know, he's got the good ground ball rate that he's had in the past. It went down a little bit last year. The strikeouts went down a little bit last year. We attribute that more to the sports hernia that he ended up having surgery on at the end of the year. Just didn't quite have the same legs, didn't quite have the same explosiveness. We've seen hard, sharp breaking balls that'll get the swing and miss, and we've seen the sinker that'll get ground balls. So, you know, AJ has that ability to get an early count ground ball out. He also has the ability to bury hitters, and we've seen both so far this spring. Again, fatigue set in the last inning of both of his outings, but that's to be expected.
Neil, what have you liked most about this spring?
There's a great energy in Camp Brownie, and we've got a group that is maturing together. They're confident. They like each other. They play hard for each other. Sometimes confidence breeds complacency, but with this group, man, it's hungry. I mean, they are a hungry group. They know we have more to do. They believe we're on the right track and that we've accomplished some of our goal, but that we have much bigger aspirations as individuals, but most importantly, collectively. And they've gotten after it. We've had a number of scouts tell us from other organizations that it's one of the hardest working camps they've been in and around, and these guys are getting after it. We haven't swung the bats all that well yet, but we're seeing some signs. We've pitched very well until yesterday. Our starters have done a nice job. Our relievers have done a nice job. The depth is there. You know, haven't been shy to talk about this is, in our minds, our best, most talented, deepest, and most versatile club. And now we've got to go get after it on paper and make it come together. And if we do it day after day, we'll be in September and look up and we'll be in a good spot.
One of the many reasons why we've been talking a lot about the ticket packages available. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Folks standing by right now, talking to Ray Serage about the excitement he has, his pitching staff. We're talking to the general manager, Neil Huntington, talking about the talent on this club. It should be quite a year. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, a number of season ticket packages available. And here now, Pedro Alvarez. Things fine defensively with Pedro Alvarez, right? Everybody's asking about Pedro's defense.
The hands and the feet are going to work perfectly fine. In fact, last year he was as good as he'd been catching the baseball. The acclimation is going to be an adjustment period of where to be and what to do. And there was a play earlier in the spring where he had a ground ball in the hole. Shortstop threw it a little high. He came off the base and ended up getting called for pulling his foot. 3 innings later, same exact situation, ground ball in the hole, throw was a little bit high. He waited for it, went up, caught it, kept his feet on the base, made it look like he'd done it 100 times. So he is an intelligent young man with a desire to be great, and he wants to learn. And you know, prior to tweaking his elbow, had put together some good swings, was swinging the bat well, and we're looking forward to getting him back on track again.
Infield fly, 2 outs.
Yeah, he was the major story. He and Gung pretty much one of the 2 major stories coming into camp. So you got 2.5 weeks left to go. Pedro among everybody, still items as they're going to make a pitching change. But what Do you still have enough time to get done what you want to get done in terms of 57 players right now? And could we expect a wholesale bunch of cuts soon?
We will. We'll have a fairly significant cut sooner than later, and then there'll be another one to follow that, and then we'll have the fourth one where we'll set the club. There's a decent number of guys still in competition for that last bench role. There's a decent number of guys still in competition for that last bullpen role. And then you also need bodies to get through camp. And while we don't mind bringing the Austin Meadows and the Josh Bells and the Jacoby Joneses over for an inning or two, you also don't want to disrupt their season and their preparation for their season. So you can only do it a handful of times. So you walk that balance between keeping guys in camp to get them ready for their season, but also pulling too many prospects out of and disrupting their routines, as well as making sure you're getting your starters their at-bats, your starting pitchers their innings, your relievers their innings, and then also your bench guys the opportunity to get sharp, and those guys that are competing the legitimate opportunity to compete as you've told them they were going to do.
So 2.5 weeks is not too much time then?
Well, I think there's some that you're ready for opening day, the third day of spring training, and then there are other years where you want things to play out. The best analogy I can give is typically we've been in a situation where you're looking to pull guys forward. You're looking for people to step up and to take those roles, and you're looking for someone to rise to the occasion. We're going to push somebody back, whether it's in our rotation or it's on our bench or in our bullpen. We're going to push somebody that's probably deserving to be at the big league level. We're going to push them back into the minor leagues, or we're going to push them from the rotation to the bullpen, which is a great sign for us as an organization, because it means we'll have depth. It means we'll have some options as we go through the season, because we're never going to need 12 pitchers. We're always going to need more. We're never going to need just 13 position players. We're always going to need more. And we've got some flexibility and some versatility with our options as we continue to move forward.
And I hate to beat it in the ground, but the foundation of a team, many people think, is a starting rotation. Worley and Locke still involved, and again, the time factor, there's still time for all that to untangle?
Absolutely. We've got both guys will have 2 more outings as we go through spring training. Both guys have thrown the ball well at times. Both guys have had their challenges at times. And again, unlike the past when we were trying to pull somebody forward to who's going to finish and who's going to fill that 5th spot, one of these guys is going to fill our 5th spot. One of them is going to go into the bullpen and be our 6th starter, which we will hopefully not need for a long time, but we may need sooner than later.
You like the looks of the bullpen, you said, but probably one more job available.
Yeah, and there's going to be great competition there. We've got 3 guys in camp that throw really hard that are in competition for it. We've got some other guys that, Caminero, Lees, and Holtzcomb are in competition for it. Pimentel is in that mix as well, a guy that we've liked a lot in the past, and is kind of getting overshadowed by the 3 hard throwers. Holtzcomb, we asked him to try to go 2 innings yesterday just to see if he could do it, and it wasn't a great outcome. But the 97-mile-an-hour cutter's still there. Lees has looked good in camp, and Caminero's been a really pleasant surprise for us in camp. And Stomey's going to be in that mix as well. So we'll have an interesting set of decisions in the bullpen as we go forward. Of course, you've got the core 4, Melanson, Watson, Bastardo, and Jared Hughes to build around as well.
New pitcher, by the way, Alberto Cabrera, facing Tony Sanchez. It's like the Tony Sanchez night, because we were talking to Ray Searage about how pleased Ray has been with his defensive abilities behind the plate this spring. What about you from Tony Sanchez, who hit the home run earlier?
He's been one of the more positive stories of camp. He swung the bat exceptionally well. The adjustment he made on the first 2 breaking balls, he tried to pull, he pulled off, and then he got the 2-2, stayed on a breaking ball and hit it out to right center field, and it was an absolute, a missile. He drove it to right center field. He's blocked well, he's game called well, he's led well behind home plate. What's been very, very encouraging for us is he's thrown the ball well. He's thrown runners out, we'll continue to need to see that. But he's played exceptionally well and been one of the better stories we've had. Chris Stewart is battling a hamstring strain right now, and what's nice is Tony's continued emergence and continued growth will allow us to give Stewart the time he needs to get healthy and go from there.
He's going to reach on a strikeout wild pitch to load the bases and bring up Andrew Lambeau, who was probably the story of spring training last year. Are you seeing a different Lambeau this spring?
It's funny, Brownie, because the first 3 or 4 games we saw the same Andrew Lambeau. We saw the guy that was pressing and wanted to impress and wanted to win a job and was trying to do more than he was capable of. Jeff Branson, Jeff Livesey got together with him and reminded him of how he got here and tried to get him back to just using the middle of the field and staying upright in his swing, and made an immediate adjustments, and the at-bats have been much better since then. The outcome still not getting a ton of hits, but driving balls to the opposite field, putting himself in a position to get hits and hit the ball hard.
As he takes the strike from the new pitcher Cabrera, with Walker, Marte, and Tony Sanchez aboard, and it's Andrew Lambeau. And that's something that we discuss often, Neil, with you when you're evaluating in March. You don't just look at the batting averages. You're watching every pitch. Who's he facing? Are the outs hit hard? Where is he? Is he making those adjustments you talked about?
We believe that your process creates your results, and that's no different for a hitter, for a pitcher, for somebody in a front office, for somebody in life. And if our guys are taking the right approach and they're putting the good swings on pitches, we believe we'll get the right results. We can be fooled by a hitter that's hitting 500 in camp, but it's against A-ball pitching. It's in the 7th inning. It's all in fastball counts. It's all fastballs to the pull side. That's a very hollow 600 even. And Andrew's put together some good at-bats here recently, and that should lead to good results.
This wild pitch will score a run. And give the Pirates back the lead. On your screen you saw Jeff Branson, the Pirates hitting coach, in the dugout. And to his right, Jeff Livesey, assistant hitting coach.
Just can't say enough good things about our staff and the work that they do, and the amount of behind-the-scenes effort and energy that goes into helping these guys get better, and the individual attention that these guys get. Whether it's Ray and Yuki tend to get a lot of attention because of what our pitchers have done, and some guys that have had some terrific bounce back years. But Jeff Branson, Jeff Livesey, these guys are really good hitting instructors, and they work well together. They complement each other very well, and deserve a lot of credit for some of the success that we experienced a year ago offensively. After a tough start, we became one of the more formidable offenses in the National League.
You know, when you say that, and then you consider not just 40-man roster, not just a 25 group that you're going to take north, 64 people. When you throw that at the staff and they handle it the way they do, that's got to be pretty impressive.
Absolutely, and that's where the importance of the continuity between your minor league coaches, your minor league managers, your minor league hitting coaches, your minor league pitching coaches, your coordinators, and it is a very cohesive group. What's also tremendous is they'll voice concerns that they have to each other. It's not a group of yes people. It's a group of men that will voice their opinions and share their opinions and share their concerns, with the intent that we're doing it to get better. And how do we help this club grow? How do we help each individual player continue to grow and get better?
Bounce to the right side. Pirates will take the lead again, 3-2. Neil, thanks so much. Enjoying the spring so far. Appreciate it, Neil.
Thanks, Brownie. Thanks, Steve.
Neil Huntington, Pirates general manager, with us. The Pirates now lead at 3-2, and it's on to the 5th. Pirates closer getting in some work tonight. The Pirates leading at 3-2, and Mark Melancon tweets out on occasion, and he tweeted out on Halloween showing his two children his prediction Tigers versus Pirates 2015 World Series. Hashtag Happy Halloween. How about that?
That's putting it out there.
Gotta like it.
Yeah. Great theme.
You can tweet us. Use Buck's Booth. The hashtag. Mark Melanson's numbers from last year just goes about his business.
You always like the control numbers, and it continues this spring. He has worked in 3 games previous to tonight, has not walked a batter. I always like to see that. He and Tony Watson have just like a day in the park, just breezing right on through spring training to this point.
Those official statistics, as Brad Osmus looks on, their second-year skipper.
Gene Lamont, former Pirate manager, over on his left.
Those official stats don't include B games where they pitch over at the minor league complex, and Melanson pitched a 1-2-3 inning against the Twins in a B game in the Pirates minor league complex. Strike is called to start the 5th inning.
Just a perfect fastball cutter from Mark, his signature.
Again, we remind you that representatives are standing by to take your questions, your orders. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Be a part of this 2015 season. Marte over to make the catch. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, and ask about the different season ticket packages available, from the full season membership, the 41 game plan. There's a 20 game package, and an opportunity for you to get opening day tickets with that 20 game plan, and the new 12 pack. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Here now is Ian Kinsler. That PNC Park will be open for business against the Detroit Tigers on Monday, April the 13th at 1:35. The home opener. There's a bunt. Josh Harrison going to eat it. Bunt single for Kinsler. Let's go downstairs to Robbie and Smikowski.
I got AJ Burnett here. AJ, bases loaded, no outs. You get 2 strikeouts. What can you tell us about the discussion with Clint, and maybe how bad do you want to stay in and finish it?
You know, it is spring, and they do got to take care of you. So that's the first thing that you got to think about. But you know, that inning, shutout innings are important to us, and you want to start bringing those into spring training and your middle preparation. So shutdown's good, that inning, but didn't happen. Bases loaded, you turn it up a little bit, and Skip came out and said the curveball's coming around, you're battling. And I just looked at him and I said, so you're going to walk back now, right? And he just laughed and said, no, I'm take care of you. So it's one of those spring training things where you want to stay in, but you understand.
So you were in a similar situation your last start, facing David Ortiz against the Red Sox. Now this, how much reps like this help get you ready?
They do. Obviously, next time out, I'm in that game still. It's a process, but you got to pitch in situations during the game, so you got to get through them in the spring.
So we've already discussed with you your decision, why you came back. I'll ask you this: how's this experience any different than it was 2 seasons ago, wearing this, wearing the yellow and gold, or black and gold?
It's way better, actually. It's more than I expected. You know, leaving and everything. You know, you had the ifs, but I mean, these guys are wonderful, and the fans are even more. So it's been very humbling.
One thing you did 2 years ago, you were pretty fired up, social media and within the media, and what you said with PAC and PNC Park. We're pushing ticket sales tonight. What message do you have to the fans and the excitement that waits ahead when you take the field April 13th?
Well, I probably won't tweet lots of empty seats anymore. I'll probably save that tweet for another time. But no, I think the fans are ready. I think they're hungry as we are, and we're trying to bring it home for them. You know, so the more fans we have, they know that. They come out and support us, so I can't wait to see that house packed.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you.
All right, Brownie.
All right, thanks to Robbie and AJ Burnett. And he is a testament to why you should get on the phone, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, and believe in this 2015 team. As he just told Robbie and Smikowski, that's why he wanted to come back. He believes that this club is going to win. 0-2 in Castellanos.
Well, yeah, this team is going to be there for you, and let's carry this over to the reps that you're going to be talking to. They are there for you. You tell them what you're going to be doing this summer, and work together, because they are there for you. They're going to bend over backwards to make it work, and they can adapt. They've got a lot of flexibility because they want you in that ballpark, and they're going to make it work for you, and. You'll be happy they did, because it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this summer.
1-800-BUY-BUCKS. They're for you right now. there for you. As we said, PNC Park will be open for business on Monday, April 13th in all its glory. The most beautiful ballpark in America. And a guy that leads the way, the vice president of PNC Park operations. I believe he's here with some other vice presidents, but I know Dennis Dupre's mom and dad are watching, John and Terry. They are as excited as we are to get this season underway. And John and Terry, one of our favorites, is Dennis. Talk about taking care of us, huh?
Yep.
Dennis Dupre. Beautiful ballpark.
He's had a lot to do with this. He's had a lot to do with the academy down in the Dominican, PNC Park, a most valuable Pirate.
And McKechnie.
Yep.
Good block there by Tony Sanchez. You look for those little things. There was one.
I would put this ballpark in its present status as good as any in Florida. And so now we got something that could be the best in Florida, and we know we got the best in the major leagues up north. So McKechnie, PNC Park, Pirate organization. A lot of people have been responsible to create what we feel is the best here and up north.
Well, let's go Frank Coonley next inning about some of the new additions to PNC Park, by the way, this season. 2-2 on Castellanos.
Did I get any satisfaction out of them putting a ice cream machine in the press room dining?
Did they? Did they put it in?
No,
You've been asking for.
Huh?
You've been asking for a dozen years. They put one in late last year, I think. And you asked for a toaster, and you got that.
I didn't ask.
And that's all you need.
I didn't ask for a toaster. I didn't ask for toasted ice cream too. I know it was in there last year, but I want to make sure it's back.
Oh, it'll be back. Dennis will make sure it's back.
Dennis, counting on you again.
Yep. 2-2 on Castellanos.
Maybe a little side dish of sprinkles.
We'll talk to Frank Coonley about
the Kona bar here.
Yeah, a couple new bars opening up at PNC Park. There's Marty the Marauder, the mascot of the Bradenton Marauders in the Florida State League. They play all their home games here.
Yeah, we're raising the bar.
Another nice block by Sanchez.
Easy guy to root for, isn't he?
Yeah,
Tony Sanchez. Turn the glove around, get the body down. Just throw everything you got in front of that baseball.
Clint Hurdle and one of his coaches, Dave Joust, he won't have a bench coach this year. He might be the only manager in baseball without a bench coach. Jeff Bannister now managing the Texas Rangers. But Clint Hurdle will rely on his coaching staff, including Dave Joust. Sanchez goes over to check things out with Melanson. With Kinsler, who reached on the bunt single, now at second and 2 outs. And to the shortstop, Jung Ho Gong, a little bobble, and on to first. He's got a very strong arm. Final out. Head to the bottom of the 5th.
Pirates Spring Training Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
It is a 3-2 Pirates lead here at McKechnie Field in Bradenton, Florida. Tony Sanchez, a 2-run homer, and then the Pirates scored on a wild pitch in the 4th. Here's Jeff Decker, who's having himself a fine spring and is in the mix in the competition for what appears to be one final position spot available. Though that can change with injury. You could end up seeing more than just one. But for now, see what Decker did at AAA Indianapolis last season. He has hit the ball hard almost every time up,
including a monster home run up in Tampa against the Yankees. Night game.
Angel Nesbitt is the new pitcher. Decker this spring has 5 hits and 16 at-bats, a .313 average with that home run Steve mentioned, 4 RBIs. He's also walked 3 times. So in terms of the position players, talk about Tony Sanchez in the running, Jeff Decker, Andrew Lambeau. We hear that the Pirates like certainly the defense, and why not a Pedro Florimon, along with Gustavo Nunez. Just a matter of how Clint Hurdle wants to make up this bench.
Well, and I'm sure everybody agrees that Jeff Decker was a long shot coming into spring training, but he has certainly helped his stock.
Game number 15. Opening day at PNC Park, 27 days away. There's Jung Ho Kang.
Saw an article in reference to Jeff Decker talking about trying to be an overall offensive player, not just hit the ball over the fence, but take a walk when it helps the ball club. Be aware of the bigger picture rather than your personal at bat. That was kind of the theme of the article.
And he draws the walk. An on-base percentage guy. Leadoff man aboard. On the latest Inside Penguins Hockey, the players share some of the biggest lies they've ever told. Mike Johnston reflects on one of his first coaching jobs and its effect on a former player, and much more Inside Penguins Hockey tomorrow at 7:30 on Root Sports.
That should be interesting. The biggest lie you've ever told.
Yeah. Can you think of one,
alphabetically
Steve?
or by number?
I understand.
How we want to start this.
Here's Harrison. He has struck out and flied out. We talked earlier about the one of the giveaways this year involving Josh Harrison. Again, 1-800-BUY-BUCKS to get on board with tickets. But one of the giveaways is a Josh Harrison toe-tapping bobblehead. It'll be interesting to see now. Harrison, this new speed-up rule.
Is it battery operated?
You're supposed to stay in the box unless you foul a pitch off. But his routine after every pitch is to walk out of the box and go through that toe-tapping routine.
Yeah, you talk about those routines. Pedro likes to step out and have that big practice swing.
Well, he's staying in the box. He doesn't go out as he used to walk out of that batter's box and do the toe tap. Here he really pretty much straddles the line. Doesn't appear to be a whole lot quicker. See if Decker takes off. Not yet. A strike. Jeff Decker aboard with a leadoff walk. Third pitcher to work. Shane Green went 3 2/3, and Cabrera. Now Nesbitt. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a backhanded pick by Avila.
I'll tell you, this is isn't it neat to be on television? You know, we start the spring training, a lot of games on radio. Now you get the pictures. Now you get to see your buckos.
Yeah.
And,
there's nothing like that first night game of spring training.
Yeah, the contrast.
Yep, on TV.
Get away from the pastels and all the sun.
You see a new look over there in the third base coaching box this year. Just saw Rick Sofield. He switches places with Nick Leyva.
Yeah, there's your picture.
Rick Sofield patrolling things in the third base coaching box this year.
The Energizer Bunny right there.
Two and two on Josh Harrison. And the veteran over there coaching first base this season, Nick Leyva. Your chance to see the new matted batting helmets that the Pirates will be wearing this year. A new look. Thanks to Scott Bonnet, Pirates equipment manager. Going with this new look, and Josh Harrison down on strikes, one away.
It was just an example of old-fashioned backyard speedball. Nesby.
Again, some of the Pirate giveaways for the kids this year. Every Sunday home game, including the Garrett Cole camo jersey, the McCutcheon socks, McCutcheon compression sleeve, and the Parrot Gnome. Also the fan jams. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or go to Pirates.com. Order now at 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Our representatives are standing by. You got the cut socks?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Now, you'll give those back to the promotions department after tonight's game, won't you?
Not a chance. Not a chance. They're going to Pittsburgh.
Here's Mel Rojas Jr. came out to pinch hit for Jose Tabata, who had fouled a pitch off his ankle. There, a pair of Andrew McCutcheon socks.
You know they're his because it's got his name.
That's how you know. And the number 22.
And the Pirate colors.
That's right. It's one of the many giveaways for the kids this year.
Stylish, yet understated.
Bounced on the right side. Kinsler tries to turn it into two. They get one. So 2 outs here in the fifth. Fairly close play, but you'll see that Rojas just does beat it out. No replay in spring training. That's another way they're going to try and speed things up. Those managers won't make the long walk out to the field.
Why don't we try it in the regular season then to speed things up? Okay.
Here is Jung Ho Kang, who has bounced out and struck out.
You didn't get any socks, did you? You didn't get a pair of socks. McCutcheon socks.
Those are for the booth. They're not yours.
Okay.
And they're for the kids.
You got that part right.
Well, Rojas might take off. Jung Ho Kang, one of the new additions this year. Pirates picked him up from the Korean Baseball Organization. The posting fee, they won out and then signed him to a contract. It's fouled off Avila's mask.
Looking to get the bat going. Great cross to the forehead. Catcher's masks aren't like they used to be.
Now, Avila, as we said earlier, has had some concussion issues because of those foul balls he's taken off the mask, and there's a strike 3 called on Jung Ho Kang. 5 innings complete. We'll move to the 6th. Pirates lead by 1. Just joining us, we talked earlier about the new 12-pack plan that's available, and representatives are standing by at 1-800-5-BUCKS, B-U-Y-B-U-C-S. The two great plans Pirates are offering with ultimate flexibility. The weekend plan that features the 12 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games. You'll get a great variety, including fireworks, bobbleheads, free shirt Fridays, matchups with the world champion Giants, the Dodgers and Cardinals included in that 12-pack weekend plan. Or you can choose the second option, which is the best flexibility. Gives you the chance to choose 6 weekday and 6 weekend games throughout the season. Again, 1-800-BUCKS. Plans start as low as $189, and you receive priority for potential individual postseason ticket pre-sales. And make sure when you do call now at 1-800-BUCKS, you ask the representative about how you can pick up a 13th game as part of that 12-pack.
Antonio Watson.
Fly ball to left. At the bat of Avila.
And Tony Watson has had a great spring. Blinding numbers. 4 innings, a hit, no runs.
That was interesting to hear Ray. Sorry not to interrupt you there, Steve.
Strikeouts.
Interesting to hear Ray talk about how that's part of the plan. He wants Tony Watson to be strong out of the gate this year.
Yep.
Historically a slow starter once the season gets underway. And tightening up that slider, huh?
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, that's a very good weapon, but you don't really need to totally dismiss the big sweeper either.
Bunt popped up.
It's interesting to have the same type of pitch with different speeds, different amount of breaks. So it's okay. You don't need to send it up in the attic completely. But this is what, 2 pitches, 2 outs?
Yeah, this is ho-hum for Tony Watson.
Tony, yep.
So consistent. An all-star last year.
Yeah, walk around the mound a couple times, break a little sweat. If he gets an out here, just get in the car and go home. Don't take a shower. Just...
Strike one.
Wouldn't that be kind of neat? Walk off the mound, get in the car, go home, put the uniform back on, come to work again tomorrow.
Tony Watson and his wife making Bradenton area their home. Easier to work out winter months. Right by the Pirate City. How about that facility, by the way? We'll have to ask Frank Coonley about that. He's coming in the bottom half of the inning. But not just here, the new clubhouse. Wow, over at Pirate City, what they've done. State-of-the-art performance center.
It is. As well as being one of the prettiest jewels, little ballpark here in Florida. It is world-class facilities. They have upgraded everything continually, but this is just frosting on the cake, the stuff they've done in the last 2 or 3 years.
I've seen that slider right there. 2-2. Check swing from Brian Holiday. He has struck out twice those 2 punch outs against the starter, A.J. Burnett, who went 3 2/3. And strike 3.
Good night, Tony.
This inning complete. 1, 2, 3. Talk to Frank Coonley next. 3-2 ball game going to the bottom of the 6th. Pirates lead it. They're beyond the boardwalk is the Pirate Clubhouse. They did some kind of work on it over the winter. It was opened just a couple of weeks ago, and players, when they made their way in, looking at the new mural, Starling Marte and Andrew McCutcheon taking a look at the great artwork, and there's Sangy looking at, of course, Sangy, and Garrett Cole and others just wowed by this new clubhouse. Mark Melanson, Clint Hurdle, and Pedro Alvarez getting their first looks. And we're joined by Frank Coonley, Pirates president. What a clubhouse. It's just sensational, isn't it?
I was just talking to some of the fans down there, and I said I think we probably went from about 29th in the league to #1. It's fabulous. I really have seen the players and their look at it. The first look at it was just fabulous, and you know, it's a first-class facility now, and that's what we said, that this team deserves, this city deserves a first-class team, and it deserves first-class facilities. So it's nice that we can complete the picture here at McKechnie Field with that. Although Jim Tradinich told me that completing the McKechnie Field renovation really includes the press box as well, that we haven't gotten the press box.
He said, make sure you get Frank, will you? Let's work on the press box.
No, the Major League Clubhouse was a higher priority than the press box, but for Jimmy T, we're heading there.
Neil Walker facing a former Pirate, Tom Gorzolani. Walker bats right-handed, talking to Pirates president Frank Coonley. We've been talking up all game long. The ticket packages that are available for you at 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, as representatives are standing by. So much excitement. We talked to Ray Serage about how psyched up he is, Frank, and then of course we talked to Neil Huntington, who has said, you know, on paper this is the best team that he's been a part of. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Absolutely. There's a lot of excitement in Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and obviously there's a lot of excitement down here in Bradenton. This will be our highest attended spring training game in the history of the franchise, so it's great to see the fans coming out, and there's good reason to be excited about this team. That it is ready. It's our time. They feel that, most importantly, the players feel that it's our time. So we haven't gotten to that stage yet in spring training where we're just absolutely dying to get back to Pittsburgh and get north. A couple more weeks, and of course this year we open on the road for the first time in a while, so we don't get back to Pittsburgh until April 13. But it'll be a fun time when we do get back to Pittsburgh and get before our fans, many of whom I've seen down here, Steve. I think many of them have taken your route of getting a place down here, either renting or buying a place down here and spending a good bit of the winter in Bradenton, Florida, which is never a bad idea.
No, it's more and more each year. It's increasing.
And Walker draws the walk. You saw on your screen there the options available, the packages. The full season membership plan, the 41-game plan, the 20-game package. There's the new 12-pack plan. And Frank Coonley just mentioned opening day at PNC Park, April the 13th against the Detroit Tigers. Again, the number 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Choose from a bunch of really neat experiences on your screen. This is new, Frank. New experiences for fans.
It is, and we just sent out an email to our season ticket members asking them to tell us what are the most important benefits among the many benefits that are available to them, so that we can make sure that we're supplying them with what they want. And so that's been fun. I know I talked to a number of season ticket members who were very excited to get that email from the team and can't wait to start to cash in on some of the membership benefits that come with being a part of the Pittsburgh Pirates family.
So in addition to getting the best pricing and best locations and guaranteeing playoff seats, you can create your own great experiences. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. And Starling Marte faces off against Gorzo and fouls it out of play. Marte 2 for 2 with a run scored and a stolen base.
Two great at bats, by the way. If I can talk baseball for a second, Steve, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We can fit some of that in for sure.
Both tough pitches with 2 strikes, and he went the other way with each one of them, and really showing the maturity that we saw the second half of last year when he was, I think, 4th in the league in WAR last year for the second half of the season, and really has taken a step forward. We're seeing it again this spring.
Yeah, we're seeing him grow up as a hitter. Those opportunities that he gets when the ball is not in where he can turn on it and pull it. Yeah, okay, I'll take what you give me and push the ball the other way. He's got a lot of learning to do in some areas, but he is growing up, and he's moving forward all the time. This could be one really, really special baseball player.
He's got all the tools, and we heard Clint talk about seeing him as a run producer, and if he's hitting 5th in the order and we're getting on base the way we should be getting on base. Whoa, there's one.
Yeah, deep
See you
to
later.
left
See
center
you later.
field.
Way out.
Past the boardwalk.
There could be a lot of RBI opportunities that are cashed in by Starling Marte this year.
That was impressive right there. He just looked like he took a ball that might have been a little bit outside and turned it back around. And that's a long tater to left center field.
Well, we've seen really from the second half of last year a little difference at the plate in terms of the stance, a wider stance and less of a leg kick. And it's down, and then he can react, and he reacted big time here.
I took the curveball, took it back over. He knew it. He knew he got all of it.
Even I knew it.
Yep. and there's dead air. There's not much air moving around, and he just gave it a long, long ride to a big part of the ballpark. More center than left center.
Alvarez now. A look at the Marte home run.
Oh, what a flight in the night. Great to see it. You know, we've been hearing a lot of radio broadcasts, but now you get a night game. You get the contrast. You get the colors. You really get the flavor. And watching that ball sail over everything, just about everything, get out into the night.
Well, this ballpark is beautiful at all times, but particularly at night. It's absolutely gorgeous. And to see it filled to the gills as we are tonight, it's wonderful to see. My younger sister is in town for the game. She was at our very first, she reminded me her first and only game in spring training in Bradenton was our first night game when we were rained out, of course, against the Yankees. And she just looked out and said, I can't believe how much different McKechnie Field looks than it did that day.
This is pristine. It's just gorgeous.
What a difference that boardwalk, man. This is a great ballpark without it, but that was the finishing touch, this ballpark.
Apparently the press box, but
that's right.
Other than the press box, that was
priority.
The touch.
There's the tiki bar, of course, sellout crowd.
I have another high school friend who enjoyed a couple of innings with me, and I was just down there and realized I had to come up. I asked him to make sure. That I didn't miss my bottom of the 6th inning. Of course, he left in about the 3rd inning, and I haven't seen him yet. So I might send an all-points bulletin out to the tiki bar.
It's hard to we know this is a sellout tonight, but there are days we've noticed the last couple of marches that you don't know if it's a sellout because so many people will leave their seats and hang out, understandably, on that boardwalk.
Yeah, understandably in right center field also.
Yeah, in particular. Yeah.
In addition to close proximity to the tiki bar, in all seriousness, the area on the boardwalk in right field, right above our bullpen, is maybe the best place to hang out and watch the game. One, you're watching pitchers warm up almost every inning for the Buccos bullpen. Secondly, oftentimes, particularly day games, you have a lot of activity going on in the agility field and in the clubhouse area right behind you, and then you have a great view of the ball game as well.
And you got some umbrellas. The hot sun won't be a problem. You go over
palm trees.
Yeah, oh yeah,
it's all good.
And the colors, the colors are wonderful here.
There they are, looking down the bullpen. Somebody's up. At least stretching.
Yeah, you watch a major league pitcher warm up. It's different than going to a scholastic game of any type. The way they pop the glove and throw the ball the way they want to and where they want to. It's fun.
Tony Sanchez, his 3rd at bat, homered his first time up.
That was an impressive opposite field shot from Tony.
In the middle of a really, really impressive spring.
Two outs. Brings up Andrew Lambeau. No, it is official. All-time record 9,018 packed in here.
Tremendous. First time over 9,000 at McKechnie Field. Great to see.
This historic ballpark, all-time record.
I'm glad your buddy got in time to be part of that 18, even though he might be somewhere else.
He's part of the 600 at the Tiki Bar right now.
There you go.
Lambo has grounded out twice. Speaking of the Tiki Bar, there are going to be a couple of new additions at PNC Park, right, this year?
Yes, we're very excited to add a couple of new places for fans to get together at PNC Park as well, and including the first ever bar for fans on the 300 level of PNC Park, right at the end of the home plate rotunda. When you get off the home plate rotunda up at the 300 level, there will be a new full-service bar there, and lots of craft beer and some mixed drinks, and wine is going to be served up there as well, with some TVs and some great opportunity to get together with your fellow fans and take a time to watch the game from the new bar up there.
And the area around the Hall of Fame Club is different too.
Yes, that will be, we will finally have a terrace, 2-level terrace that will connect the Hall of Fame Club to the upper bleachers and left field, and that will really open up that entire area. It will be terrific. 2 levels, standing room to begin with, and a drink rail opportunity to watch the game from there. Will allow us to expand the standing room only capacity of PNC Park. But really what it will do is open up what is great space, but not everybody knows that it's there, open to all ticket holders for the game. The Hall of Fame Club, which does a great job in terms of food and drink, we will really open that area up and open up the upper bleachers in left field. Great opportunity to get out of the sun on those hot Sunday days in particular. Those bleachers can get a little bit hot. But also just a great opportunity to watch the game from an area where you're looking right down onto the field from left field.
Now, do you need any help with the focus groups on some of those new venues?
We might need to do a broadcast. We did a broadcast from the Hall of Fame Club several years ago. I'm not sure if you were involved with this, Steve, but I remember Wayner was.
Yes.
Yeah. And Milwaukee is in line to get that opportunity.
Fly ball to center field, and Lambo will be retired. Frank, they're waiting for you, I know, on the radio side, so thanks so much. Frank Coonley, team president.
Good being with Frank.
Buccos get the 2-run homer from Starling Marte deep into the ninth, 5-2. Pittsburgh. Of Bucks and Pucks Saturday on Root Sports. We start off in Florida with Pirates spring training. Bucks host the Red Sox starting at 12:30. Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Then we move west to Arizona for the Pens game against the Phoenix Coyotes starting at 8:30. Bucks and Pucks Saturday starting at 12:30 on Root Sports. And here on Root Sports, we're bringing you the Pirates and the Tigers. A sellout crowd, over 9,000. First time ever we've seen this many people at McKechnie Field. Let's go downstairs to Robbie Intzmakowski with Tony Sanchez.
And he's one of the most honest guys in all Major League Baseball. Will give you an honest answer to any question you ask. So, first of all, the home run, that was hits in 5 consecutive at-bats and 8 of 9. What exactly has gone right for you at the plate this spring?
I have no idea. Actually, you know, a lot of hard work, man. Finally, you know, it's all coming together. I've been in the cages with Branny, Liver, you know, Butch, you know, every day. You know, I don't take a day off. And I like to think it's you know, I parlayed my plan in the Dominican League into a solid spring training. I had a plan down there. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to attack my weaknesses, and you know, thank the big man upstairs, and it's paying dividends for me right now.
Well, one of your weaknesses was trying to get better at the plate. What did that do for you?
At the plate?
Behind the plate, working on your defense. How did that help you?
You know, I went down to Dominican and you know, put the offense on the back burner and you know, really put myself in holes in every at-bat, really. And, you know, I just wanted to, you know, see how well I could catch in such a hostile environment. I had people yelling at me, "Go home, we know where you live." So it was uncomfortable, to say the least. But I had to go. I had to go down there and see, you know, I had to get my catching straightened out. And you know, thank God I did, because now I feel great. And, you know, I'm hitting, I'm playing well on both sides of the play, and, you know, I can't complain.
Neil Huntington is happy with the fact that you have to make these guys make tough decisions. Do they carry 2 catchers? Do they carry 3? How do you accept it when you see Cervelli come in here? And what kind of motivation does that do for you, or does that not change anything?
You know, that's when they picked up the Cervelli is when the switch flipped. I asked myself, how many times am I going to make them go out and acquire another catcher? You know, I was the 4th pick. It took me 9 minutes to get drafted. You know, they picked me for a reason. I should be the guy. So something switched, and you know, that's why one of the reasons I had to go down to Dominican, because I needed to get work in. I had to go to the mini camp to get more work in. I had to fly to New York to work with my catching guy, Brian Esposito. I had to come to spring training 2 weeks early to get my work in, because you know, how many times are they going to get another catcher from the Yankees? So that's when it finally clicked, and you know, I'm not here wanting to break camp. I'm not here I'm trying to be the #1 catcher.
What does that do for your confidence and to perform the way you are, knowing the improvements that you made? Where are you at mentally right now?
Yeah, pretty good. I feel good about myself. I know how hard I work. I know how much adversity I've been through, and I know how hard I'm going to work when I make the squad. And so, you know, for me to be in this spot right now, I feel really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Greg. Totally honest guy, right?
It's great. As you said earlier, Steve, he's an easy guy to root for. And you heard it. You know, it took me 9 minutes to get drafted. They drafted me #1 for a reason. I had to get better. Went to play winter ball because I wanted to be in a hostile environment. I mean,
yeah, that's professionalism right there. That's his picture right there. He covered a lot of things.
Yep. Nice work, Tony Sanchez. Sebastian Valle catching Antonio Bastardo, who will be one of the relievers. Came over from the Phillies over the winter, and he strikes out the first 2 he faces.
When Antonio Bastardo is right, I mean, he is very, very dominant. Now, he slows things down. When he's not pitching well, it takes longer, and it goes in a field that's not so good. But when he's dealing, he is as tough as you're going to find as a left-hander. He's got to pitch out in front. His pace is his pace. He's a slow worker, but when he's on, it's good.
Ray Serage, Jim Benedict, and Jose Iglesias, who is 0 for 3 tonight, takes ball 1.
Tony Sanchez was right in talking about, at times, a very hostile environment, because the passion of the fans in the Dominican Republic is incredible. They play other sports, they play a lot of soccer, but baseball is it, and they have had high-end baseball for a lot of years. We're going down there and pitching against the Lasay team that had all the Alou brothers, and had Marichal as a pitcher. I mean, that was a high-end group. They know their baseball. They know what they want.
(2-0) on Iglesias. 2-1. A lot of changes. The Pirates have a new outfield. Rojas Jr. was out there for Taba to begin with. Albertis Hernandez and Julio Garcia are in center and right, respectively. Pedro Florimon, Gustavo Nunez on the left side, Steve Lombardozzi, Davidson Romero on the right side, and as we mentioned, Sebastian Valle behind the plate. Most of those are non-roster invites, but they're still fighting for one spot, perhaps maybe a couple available, depending on injuries. Florimon and Nunez on the left side, both outstanding glove men. So what will Clint Hurdle decide for that position player? Is he going to want to have a pure glove man in Florimon, who was the opening day shortstop for the Twins the previous 2 years? Gustavo Nunez had been part of the Tigers organization and for a short time with the Pirates a few years ago in minor leagues. Switch hitter who can really pick it. Or will they want a left-handed bat like Andrew Lambeau or Jeff Decker? Lambeau can play first and right, essentially. Decker can play all three outfield positions. Or Tony Sanchez, as he jumped in front of the competition now. He can not only catch, but play a little first base.
Well, it's almost like the pitchers. You're never going to have the same 12 pitchers all year, and you're never going to have that 23rd, 24th, 25th man. That's going to be an ebb and flow situation, too, throughout the season. So, yeah, you want to go north of the team, but if you don't, it might break some way where you get an opportunity later on. It's a tough pill to swallow, but you can't give up the ship.
Now, some guys are veteran minor leaguers, non-roster guys who will and have in their contracts they'll go somewhere else if they're not part of the club at the beginning. Others will go to the minor leagues. So that comes into play too when the Pirates are making those decisions.
Yeah,
they don't want to lose anybody.
Yeah, how many times do we come to the ballpark? Roster move, roster move. I mean, it happens so often for every team. That trip from Indianapolis to Pittsburgh and back is a busy road.
Kinsler takes ball one, and Kinsler is 2 out of 3. Bastardo struck out the first 2 and then walked Iglesias. Ian Kinsler, second year with the Tigers. Made the All-Star team last year, 17 homers, drove in 92. 33-year-old veteran, the former Texas Ranger.
Well, when he throws his stuff downstairs, it is just, it's moving all over the place. It's got good speed.
And looks like a late pickup, too. As you say, Steve, he doesn't throw as hard as he used to anymore, but you could also see there by that swing by Kinsler, he really picked that up late. 1-2.
We don't have the radar gun. And sometimes you're a little surprised. I mean, he has so much movement. Sometimes you want to integrate that.
85 miles per hour on that pitch.
And you think it's faster than it really is.
Radar gun on the top of your screen, but here at the McKechnie, they don't have the readings. 84, late swing.
Oh, yeah, that's been there all game? Good. Good to see that.
Good to have you.
Yeah, I've been looking out at the scoreboard, looking for
part of the beautiful pictures we're bringing you. Contrast and colors.
Yep. Sometimes when you see them, you don't have to talk about them.
That's right. One-two count. Inside. Of course, you can see that on your screen, the count as well.
Yep.
2-2.
A lot of times the speed is different between the truck gun and the actual Major League Baseball field.
Well, we don't have it here, though, in this field. That's my point.
No, so we have to speculate because you don't know about the others.
Some spring training sites do have the radar gun readings. They don't here at McKechnie.
And you can't trust the truck many times.
Oh, sure you can. Constantly. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Trustworthy truck.
I trust the truck.
By the way, we promised we'd send along a happy birthday wish. Now, 10 years old today. Happy birthday to one of the great Pirate fans of all time, Gage Beavers. Happy birthday, Gage. Now 10. That's what's bringing us those official and accurate readings. The jugs gun there. And this hit to the gap in right center. Ian Kinsler with his third hit. Ball bounces around over there, and Kinsler will head to third base as Lombardozzi throws late, and the ball gets past the infield there, but stays in play.
Now will they rule a triple or a double, and he kicked it?
They'll rule a double and an E8. Another look at the Corquez Hernandez having trouble picking the ball up. He's at 5-3.
Yeah, right in the wheelhouse.
So give him a double, RBI, E8. And Corquez Hernandez back in the Pirates organization. Originally signed by the Tigers.
So a couple quick outs, strikeouts, impressive from Bastardo.
Now Tyler Collins. Seven hits now for Detroit. A.J. Burnett gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, and 3 2/3 innings through 68 pitches. Walked a couple, struck out 5. Mark Melancon, a scoreless 5th. And Tony Watson, a 1-2-3 6th inning. And now Bastardo, count of 2-1. On Tyler Collins. Hit .250 in 18 games with the Tigers last year. Bastardo, the former Philly. Couldn't hold. He went.
Looks like about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hey, come on, one more.
2-2. Popped up. Looks like it's out of play. Valle maybe with room. Oh, leaning over and making an outstanding catch. Wow. Sebastian Valle. Non-roster invite. It's a heck of a catch. He didn't give up on it. Toward the railing. Hanging in there. It is a 5-3 Pirates lead. And here is Steve Lombardozzi Jr.
Working against left-hander Kyle Ryan.
Lombardozzi, a non-roster player in camp. Utility man with the Orioles organization last year. A lot of time in the minors. Parts of 3 years playing for the Washington Nationals, and he fouls this out of play. The Parrot is here.
Spring training for the Parrot.
Does he count as one of the 9,018?
Just know that
no, 9,018 people, I'm told.
Yep. Does come south for the winter.
Humans.
There's a foul ball. Speaking of Parrot.
We got it. You didn't have to push it. Just leave it go.
Sorry.
And let the pictures, let the words flow. Nice. Base hits it right for Lombardozzi. Trying to win a job. Steve Lombardozzi. I think we were telling you a lot tonight about Pirate representatives standing by, taking your calls, 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, or a season tickets. And don't forget about all the great Kids Day giveaways. The Garrett Cole camo jersey, the McCutcheon socks that Steve showed you, McCutcheon compression sleeve, Parrot gnome, fan jam. So much in store this year, and so many plans available for you. The full season membership plan starts as low as $599. There are 41 game plans available, 20 game packages, which include the chance to purchase opening day tickets against these Tigers. And there's the new 12-pack plan that was just released. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Here is Pedro Florimon. Lombardozzi's base hit, his 6th of the spring in 20 at-bats, while Florimon is hitting .294, 5 for 17, but they are not expecting him, should he make the club, to contribute much, if anything, offensively. Good glove man, can run. 28-year-old Dominican.
Yeah, you wonder what plays into the decision more, defense or offense. You know, Pirates looking for left-hand power off the bench.
Florimon, 4-year career in the big leagues, .204 lifetime batting average, 214 games, the majority of those with the Twins. He was their opening day shortstop the previous 2 years. 3-0 count. Facing the lefty Kyle Ryan, new catcher Miguel Gonzalez. Takes over for Avila. And Steve Lombardozzi with the lead off of first. And a 4-pitch walk to Pedro Florimon, who is on the 40-man roster. That is also something that comes into play at the end of spring training. A guy that's on the 40-man, they don't have to make a move. You want to put him on your 25-man active roster at the start.
That whole scenario is sometimes a bigger factor than anything.
Yeah. A guy like Lombardozzi is a non-roster player. Here's Mel Rojas Jr. He took over for Jose Tabata. We have not gotten any word yet from the Pirates about the extent of this injury. Jose Tabata fouled a pitch off of his ankle in the 3rd inning during an at-bat. This ball fouled off, and that got Rojas's hand as he squared to bunt.
And he is hurting.
Here comes Ben Potenziano, an assistant trainer for the Pirates. Steve, what's the best way to avoid that? You had to be called upon to bunt a lot over your career. Is there any trick to keeping those fingers out of the way?
Well, the first commandment, keep your fingers in back of the bat. Don't have them, any part of your fingers or thumb, around the bat. That exposes them. If you hold the bat with your fingers in back, I mean, you really can't get injured unless it goes up and hits part of your hand or something.
Asking him to squeeze that hand, Ben Potenziano. So see, he doesn't have his fingers protected here.
Almost like it might have come under.
Looks like it hit the bat and then.
Yeah, maybe the bat and kept going down.
So Tabata, again, this is in the third inning. He fouls a pitch off the ankle. Initially, Tabata was kind of hopping around, but able to put weight on this foot. You'll watch him get this foul ball. Watch him, he'll hop around in obvious pain. Taking it right off the ankle, but eventually he was carted off the field.
And we have not heard anything since.
You don't see that too often. We have, again,
it really started hurting more.
Yeah. And another bunt. And boy, they had to play at third, but the pitcher, Ryan, decides to throw to first and gets some help over there from Kinsler to save an error. Sacrifice. Rojas, who just took a foul ball off the fingers, asked to sacrifice, and he got it done. Well, it looks as though the pitcher had to play at third.
Boy, sometimes pitchers just have a mental block if something is behind them. Although a left-hander, he's turning toward third base. Right-handers have that play in back of them. The Pirates get the chance to add on. Mr. Nunez.
It is Gustavo Nunez, switch-hitting infielder. 1 hit in 16 at-bats this spring. A few years ago, the Pirates took Nunez as a Rule 5 player, which means he had to stay on the big league roster. Well, he stayed on the roster, but he was on the disabled list and then was returned to the Tigers the following year. He's 27 years old. That's right-handed against the lefty Ryan, with the infield in all the way around. While rehabbing an ankle injury, he played for a time with Bradenton back in 2012 and with the Altoona Curve. One and two. Last year he was in the Braves organization, played at Double-A Mississippi in the Southern League. Strike three. Gustavo Nunez strikes out looking.
Now, Greg, what you're looking for, and it's not an urgent thing or not going to change the world, but you'd love to see the Pirates break out and score maybe a dozen runs one of these afternoons. It's not been a great spring so far offensively. Just clear the air out. Have yourself a big inning.
And maybe, when they get all their regulars in there playing, that in the last couple of weeks, you'd love to see that. Probably not as big a concern, Steve, I guess, when you think that the regulars, especially the first week and a half, were hardly playing at all, including Harrison, McCutchen. Yeah. Cervelli didn't play much. Harrison had that ankle. Even Alvarez had that hyperextended elbow.
Yep. Get the regular troops in.
Willie Garcia. Now Rojas smiling. Hand okay. And Willie Garcia puts a charge into one. Willie Garcia, a 3-run homer.
Come on, Willie Boy is here.
Garcia in camp.
Woo. That didn't take long to get out of here.
He'll be starting the year in the minor leagues, but he impressed Clint Hurdle last year. And this 3-run homer, a bomb to left for Willie Garcia, his first of the spring.
Another curveball that gets lost in the night. He didn't hold much back on that first pitch, that first swing that he missed, but he didn't miss this one.
And now Gorkis Hernandez bounces the ball to the shortstop. Play goes 6-3. 3 home runs tonight for Pirates players. Tony Sanchez, Starling Marte, and Willie Garcia gives the Pirates an 8-3 lead. Here, our day automotive this day in baseball history. On this date in 1970, the Seattle Pilots beat the Cleveland Indians 19-14, an exhibition game that was played with a new experimental baseball called the X5. It was reportedly 5% livelier than a regulation Major League Baseball. A week later, Commissioner Bowie Kuhn decided to discontinue that experimental baseball.
1940, was it?
If you want some offense, there you go.
Yeah, what if you had used aluminum bats with that?
Yeah.
Using the regular bats here in Bradenton. 3 long balls. This record-breaking crowd enjoying the evening.
9,018. And Casey Sadler comes on. We saw Sadler pitch last year for the Pirates in 6 games.
He is making his 4th appearance. He's worked 7 innings, given up 5 hits, 4 runs. And walking.
Francisco Martinez will pinch hit. Oh, 0-2. Casey Sadler, 24-year-old from Stillwater, Oklahoma.
5th pitcher of the evening. Yep, thank you. It's a breaking ball to pick up the outside corner. Burnett, Melanson, Watson, Bastardo, now Sadler.
Sadler's 4th spring appearance, made a couple of starts. And he'll be insurance for the Pirates at the AAA Indianapolis. Heard Neil Huntington talk about how the pitcher who does not win the 5th spot in the rotation between Vance Worley and Jeff Locke will go to the bullpen and essentially be the 6th starter. But then they'll have a 7th, 8th, even 9th starter ready to go at AAA Indianapolis. There's a line drive to right field and an attempt by Willie Garcia, but short hops it. Base hit to right field.
So
Miguel Gonzalez with a base hit to right. Here is Winton Bernard pinch hitting. For the first couple weeks, maybe parts of 3 weeks, oftentimes the starters are in there for about 3 at-bats. It becomes 2 different ball games. A lot of minor league players getting a look-see.
Well, the main thing, we asked for offense tonight, and we've got it. 8 runs so far.
A lot of promotional items available for you in 2015. We're inviting you to call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Pick up your ticket packages. Free Shirt Fridays. One-of-a-kind T-shirt every Friday home game to the first 20,000 fans. Post-game fireworks. That is one of the packages available. 2 12-pack plans. We mentioned earlier, strike 3 is called on the pinch hitter, Bernard. And there's also the second option where you get to choose 6 weekday games and 6 weekend games of your choice. And when you call, ask your representative about how you can pick up a 13th game. That's just for tonight. Operators are standing by. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Be a part of the 2015 Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park.
Well, Greg, to your point about who do you face, sometimes you determine evaluations on that. And Sadler, you know, he has no control over who he's going to pitch against. So he's got to throw strikes and do what he can. He can't determine what the opposing manager is going to do. So right now he is pouring a lot of strikes into that zone. That's good. That's always good. Misses with that sinker.
Sadler pitched at Western Oklahoma State. Pirates picked him in the 25th round 5 years ago.
Good sinking fastball. That's good life. Good speed on the ball. Just diving straight downstairs. What's the batter swing over top of the baseball?
Jeffrey Marte is the pinch hitter. Pirates and Tigers from McKechnie tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, Pirates will make the short trip to Sarasota, take on the Orioles as Sadler strikes out 3 in the inning. 8-3 Bucks. Blake Como returns to the lineup against Detroit and makes an immediate impact. Sidney Crosby surprises the Little Penguins by partaking in their practice at Consol Energy Center, and much more. In the room tomorrow after Penn's postgame on Root Sports. Greg Brown, Steve Blass, Robbie Makowski on hand here tonight. Our stage manager Erica, thank her. Thanks to our guests that we've had in the booth. Ray Serage was on headsets, but then we had Neil Huntington and Frank Coonley.
Busy night.
Yeah.
Also with the bats. 8 runs scored by the Pirates.
Here is Davidson Romero. He takes a strike. He is a non-roster invite. 10 years in the Twins minor league system. Alex Wilson, the new pitcher. One ball, 2 strikes. Down on strikes goes Davidson Romero. I mentioned Alex Wilson, the new pitcher. And Winton Bernard stays in the game in center. Ross Cavett is now in right. Jason Krzan in left. Francisco Martinez at third with Dixon Machado at short. Joey Pancake at second and Aaron Westlake at first. We told you Miguel Gonzalez was catching earlier. And a bouncing ball toward third off the bat of the catcher Sebastian Valle. He's thrown out. 2 outs. Now a pinch hitter for the pitcher. And that is Alan Hansen. The Tigers. Omar Vizquel, part of their coaching staff at first base. Alan Trammell, the great Tigers of all time, joining Brad Ausmus. Guys could pick it a little bit. Ausmus, a Gold Glove catcher. Ground ball to third base. Picked and thrown. And 1-2-3 go the Pirates in the 8th. On to the 9th from McKechnie Field at Bradenton. The Pirates are leading at 8-3.
The authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
9,018 on hand tonight. Pirates and the Tigers. Don't forget our next telecast on Root Sports, and our last telecast from Florida this spring will be Saturday when the Red Sox come in. We'll also be televising the game in Philadelphia, the exhibition game. Pirates will play an exhibition series against their cross-state rivals April 3rd and 4th, the Friday night and Saturday afternoon. And the Friday night game on April the 3rd will be televised. Bobby Laframboise appeared in 6 games for the Pirates last year, the lefty.
Pitcher number 6 on the evening. He's given up a run in 3 appearances so far, covering 3 innings.
Aaron Westlake will lead things off for the Tigers in the 9th. Pirates spring training record, 6 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties.
Brings back memories of the old former Pirate, Cleveland Indian, Wally Westlake. Way back.
And a good one he was.
Yep.
Two 2-0. A.J. Burnett, 3 2/3, 2 runs, 5 hits, couple of walks, 5 strikeouts.
Still got that strikeout pitch working.
Yeah.
5 tonight.
What are your stories tonight, Steve?
Marte, Pirate offense, home runs, fun night, sellout crowd, records, stat of the night, all-time record.
Willie Garcia, one of the 3 homers. Tony Sanchez also went deep to right center field. Tomorrow afternoon, the Pirates playing the Orioles. Radhames Lees, one of the pitchers who is probably a front runner. He'll sign a big league contract. A little stumble there by Lombardozzi, but not able to get the ball in time to Laframboise. It'll be a base hit.
A for effort. This is going a long way. We've had a couple attempts at a tumbling throw. Neil Walker tried something early in the ball game. A for effort. His flip was off the mark.
And a strike. Ross Cavett. Pirates named their opening day starter, Francisco Cervelli, pitch against the Reds on April the 6th. Francisco Liriano, rather. Ball off the glove. Nunez throws a bit late, and everybody's safe. 2 aboard. Liriano will start against the Reds on April the 6th. Garrett Cole will pitch the second game on April the 8th, which puts him in line to pitch the home opener on April the 13th against the Tigers.
A for effort again.
Dixon Machado to the plate. Spanky LaValliere, one of the guest instructors in camp. Kevin Young. Woody Heike there. Long-time coach in the Pirate system. Well, he's seen a lot of baseball. Has he seen so many?
Yep, the grand old man
players,
of this organization. Clubhouse is named after him.
Arms folded there in the back.
Yep.
Cap off.
He don't need no hat.
And another hit. Bases are loaded for the Tigers. Here is Joey Pancake.
How about
Great
that name?
names.
Yep. Not as good as Joey Bats, but
no.
Joey Pancake.
But the crowd got a kick out of the PA announcer here Mike Collins, by the way, is the public address announcer in his first year here. Pittsburgh native from Carrick, Pennsylvania. Mike Collins, and he's one of the stories in spring. He has done a tremendous job as the public address announcer at McKechnie Field. And he has been a long-time PA voice for Notre Dame football.
Yeah, you go from a foundation of just absolutely loving what he's doing, and it projects.
He's a kid going to Forbes Field. He dreamed of being a public address announcer for the Pirates, listening to then PA announcer Art McKinnon as a kid. I thought how cool that would be.
Pretty good role model there.
Yeah. So he has realized a dream. His first year as public address announcer here at McKechnie. There he is, Michael Collins. Great guy. Carrick, PA. Fans wanted that one, but it's ball 3.
And we have some up-tempo activity in the Pirate bullpen. A couple of infield hits and a little soft serve line drive to left field.
He takes a strike.
That's when it comes down to cases. You got the bases loaded, nobody out, 3-0. You need to throw a strike and then follow it up with several others.
3-2. Full count on Joey Pancake out of the University of South Carolina. Drafted last year by the Tigers. You hungry? The truck asks, how's his cousin Joey Waffles doing?
Where do you go from there?
Shot up the middle. Joey Pancake makes it an 8-5 game.
Came all the way back, full count, and then that fastball is right there. Stung up the middle.
Bobby LaFramboise picked up last summer from Seattle.
May have to get him out to continue.
Whoa.
Oh, excuse me. That was.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we got 15 boxes up here.
So Bob walk.
Yeah.
Milwaukee does it almost every night. I can't wait to tell Bob that you did it. He does it almost every game on the radio and occasionally on TV.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not your fault. Take the walkie approach. It's not your fault.
It's not?
No, that was not your fault.
No, that was my fault. I'm going to take the highlight.
All right. There's Bob. He goes for the cough button and often misses.
Well, I hit the hole wrong. I hit the spare.
Yeah, hit the spare box.
Spare box.
Didn't use yours. Bob and Tim on the radio side. Director broadcasting Mark Garda there. No check in the back. Oh, fans wanted that one. Jason Krazan at the plate. It's 1-2.
The pitcher wanted it more.
Yeah.
Bobby LaFramboise looking for anything right now.
Stays alive, 1-2.
It's one of those situations, it can be so hard to get an out. You're looking for anything. You don't get the call, make a good pitch, he fouls it back. You got to just keep on slugging.
Bounced and passed first into right field, and the inning continues first and third. It's 8-6, and still without an out.
A lot of ground balls, but a lot of ground balls getting through.
Tough going for LaFramboise. That's going to be it. Or Jim Benedict, I'm sorry, is going to go out. So I'm going to talk to him. Krazan hits it past first baseman Davidson Romero. So there have been a couple of infield singles. And this ball past first. Not a lot of luck behind LaFramboise. Maybe some encouraging words there from Jim Benedict. He's done some great work in the Pirates organization the last few years. Worked with Vance Worley in depth last year after the Pirates picked him up from the Twins. Charlie Morton a couple of years ago. Josh Wall in the bullpen.
Trying to find an out. Just one. Just get one. See where that takes us.
Francisco Martinez takes ball one.
Well, the good news, the run at third base doesn't beat you. The bad news is what's happening here in the ninth inning. Good off-speed pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike on Francisco Martinez. LaFramboise. With the infield at double play depth. Two and one. Pirates will play these Tigers later in the spring at their home site in Lakeland. This is game number 15 and 15 games left in Florida after this one. And we're at the halfway mark. 2-2. Pirates will play the Tigers in the opening series at PNC Park starting April 13th, a 3-game series. And has been the case for a few years now. They'll be going to Detroit in the home-and-home series. Play the Tigers at the end of June and early July. Strike three called. Out number one.
Okay, spell is broken.
And that will be it for LaFramboise. Clint Hurdle will make his way out.
Picking up that outside corner. Yeah, well, okay.
And Josh Wall coming on. 8-6 Pirates, 9th inning here at McKechnie. Pirates lead the Tigers. First and third for Detroit with one out. Another non-roster invitee is on the mound. Josh Wall, 6'6", 28 years old. Last season numbers in the minor leagues. Also pitched in a couple games with the Angels. He has pitched in the major leagues with the Dodgers. Miguel Gonzalez at the plate, first and third, one out. And strike one. Josh Wall's fourth outing this spring. Wall pitched 5 days ago against the Twins, pitched a scoreless frame. And a bouncing ball into left field. 8-7.
Another ground ball that finds a hole. Routine ground ball. Can't get him at anybody.
Another look at this seeing eye single. Makes it 8-7 as Joey Pancake crosses the plate.
Twice as many hits for the Tigers as the Pirates. The Pirates still lead it by one.
Here is Winton Bernard. Struck out looking against Casey Sadler last inning. Josh Wall's the 8th pitcher to go tonight. Louisiana native Josh Wall. Pirates picked him up last year. Pitched for AAA Indianapolis and made 28 appearances second half of the year. 2-0. Could be 2. 6, 4, 3. Double play.
All right.
Ends the ball game. .643 DP.
That's the way you put a lid on it. Well, good night for the Pirate bats. Just 7 hits, but 8 runs. A.J. Burnett gets good marks. Pirates break out and hit the ball over the fence. Fun night for fans to watch till it got a little anxious in the top of the ninth. But all in all, fun night of Pirate offense.
Our next televised game will be coming up Saturday against the Red Sox, so you'll hear Pirates baseball on Pirates.com the next 2 days. Pirates will take on the Orioles tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. So Pirates win it. A.J. Burnett went 3 2/3, gave up a couple of runs on 5 hits, home runs. Tony Sanchez, Starling Marte, Willie Garcia. They'll be talking about it in the studio when we come back. For Steve Blass and our entire crew, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you again on Saturday. Pirates hold on and beat the Tigers 8-7.